Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome one, welcome all, welcome to the Forts 2v2 modded showcase. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have asked for it for quite some time, and we are here to deliver. As today we have, well, the wildest of matches, the wildest of games, put together by the best of the players. And you guys wanted to see it. You guys wanted those mods. You guys wanted to see them played at the higher levels, and that's exactly what we're doing today, as we have an invite-only modded showcase, a little bit of a semi-tournament here. You can use the bracket command to see the list of players and teams that will be joining us today. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. We'll be starting out by hopping onto voice comms with our other casters here. I should say the other, well, I suppose casters are the right word at this point. Hello there.
Greetings.
Greetings indeed. Want to say hello to 42 Scientist and Nose, who will be joining us for today's cast of these wonderfully modded matches.
Yes, Nose will be back shortly. He's taking a coffee.
Well, great timing. Well, for those who don't recognize 42's voice, that is the voice of 42 Scientist, who will be running much of the show behind the scenes and doing the cat herding, while we do the talking and the enjoying. But I believe we're actually good to start just right here and now, aren't we?
Yes, that is correct. We are just waiting for one player to ready up, and we'll be able to start, even though we're late.
Yes. For those who have been sitting here in chat for a while, we've suffered some issues with Steam. Specifically, Steam's servers are having some connectivity issues. I'm just going to blame Deadlock and move on from that. But for now, we'll be hopping right into round one.
Yes, and for this first round,
05 versus Team
we
Yacht.
have, yes, we have the nuclear mod as our showcase mod for this one, and we'll be playing on battleships Montania.
Okay, so the classic non-high seas version.
Yes.
Very simple. It begins. So the
Hello,
nuclear
Incursus.
mod. Hello there, welcome back. We've just started the match, and it's it's gonna get wild as it usually does. So this is battleships. Battleships is a classic. These days I typically do the high seas variants because it has actual water instead of battleship-shaped floor. But more importantly, we have the nuclear mod, which is, well, not going to spoil it. You guys will get to see what that looks like pretty soon. We'll see. So this is one of those mods that does take a while to kick off. So we may get to see much of the match get played without substantial amounts of nuclear option being utilized. One of the, I don't want to call it an issue, but one of the quirks of mods in Forts is that the standard vanilla weaponry is sufficiently powerful that many of the modded weapons just don't get seen because the game ends after cannons and plasma beams come out. That's just it. This mod does suffer from that a little bit. However, when the modded weapons come out, they're spectacular in a way that you guys that steals the hearts of the viewers. So we're enjoying. Oh my lord, that man's got an extra. That dropped a bit harder than I think he wanted it to. As we see the tier 3 flying around. We're gonna see a similar type thing over here on the right side. They're gonna be swinging their core as well. Classic core swing. You don't want the core to be sitting up in the citadel if you can avoid it.
Yeah, and so I tried to pick some maps that made sense for the mods, and yeah, for nuclear mod, because it takes long to pop off, I took battleships because it tends to be a bit longer than other maps, I guess.
Yes, and I think that was an excellent decision. They're preemptively defending the core from the tier 3 just in case. We've seen that happen before, like during our live streams where we're swinging the core away from the Citadel and the opener tier 3 just snipes it on the way down. It's it happens. It's not common. You guys know tier 3s. Tier 3s are horribly inconsistent. So even purposefully aiming for that core is not likely to do anything. But it does happen, and it's kind of devastating when it does. Alright. As the resident tier 3 wielder, the only location worth aiming for right now is this rear location. Like, if you aim for right here, what you get is a tier 3 that lands either here, destroying these, or here, destroying this. And that's much, much more effective than anything else you can do with a tier 3. At least on this map. And the Citadel is being replaced. And constructed. You tried. On the other hand, we have some tier 3 defenses. Fire beams deep inset that can only aim up, utilized specifically and exclusively for burning tier 3s out of this guy. Classic shot. We see this happen. This is inevitable and is half the reason why the cannon is usually sold off relatively early, because that cannon gets touched and it nearly takes the forward core with it. We have the nuclear beams firing, built quickly via the Architect's active ability. Punching a little deep, but nothing too exciting here. These are kind of like medium lasers. More damage in a fire beam, not as much damage as a plasma. Relatively fast cooldown.
And also, if you didn't notice, there is the explosions VFX mod.
Yes, I love the explosions VFX mod. Not because I personally love it, but because it just makes everything so much prettier. The viewing experience is just top tier with it.
I love it.
It's wonderful. It's like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Forts has such satisfying explosions, both in visual and, well, audio chunking thickness. Adding the extra shininess, the extra flair, is just, it's really, really good. And it fits Forts so very well.
I agree.
A quick shout out to Team Gyat wielding the Moonshine Commander to its utmost degree. We see the energy shield doors all over the place.
Ooh.
And we see those tier 3s getting burned out of the sky.
That is a very good catch.
Very good catch. They're trying to burn more of the cannons out, but it's not working super well for them.
Yeah, the forward-facing cannons are much harder to burn down with this angle.
Yes, if at all possible. Oh! That is one consequence of using the shields. Energy beams can deflect off of them into places you would not expect. There's one, and there's the other ones. And they're gone! All those tier 3s have been eliminated. This is the point where Team Yacht needs to start chain firing their tier 3s rather than group firing. Force the opponent's fire beams onto cooldown.
Yeah, but they do have 4 fire beams to cover.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like the Team 1 has enough fire beams to cover all of them, but then they have to spend the time covering all of them as opposed to just using one and then having 2 extras available. At least, you know, guarantee the forward-facing cannons in or what. Like, make your opponents pay for it. There it is.
I was just looking up the stats of the nuclear mod, and there are 174,000 subscribers to this mod. Made by, I assume, a Chinese fellow. Google translates his name to E-Touch. But yeah, that's his mod, and it's obviously very popular.
Yes. Well, we get to see some of the new toys here. The uranium mines. That's
That is neat.
and
Look, that crazy stuff.
the nuclear 20 mils. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
It's all happening.
It's all kicking off all at once. Okay. I'm actually really happy to see the nuclear mines here
Yeah,
because
that's pretty cool.
not only are they glowy and shiny, but given the length of the game that we expect this to go, they're gonna pay off. Ooh, door snipe. Devastating damage. Those tier 3s out of team... Yeah, I was about to say... Those tier 3s are making it through. Despite Team 1 having a lot of anti-tier 3 options, they're making it through, and with the whole making it through, they're going to deal a lot of damage. Like, potentially not just game ending, but not just like game winning levels of damage.
That is a huge silo I'm seeing.
It is a very big silo, yes.
Now too.
That is so funny.
Well, I mean, you destroyed the core, so I mean, well, they got to replace it with something.
This is a comically large silo.
It is.
I hope the warhead is equally scaled up.
Yo.
I think I've tried launching one, and it also makes a really long sound.
Okay.
To say,
Yeah,
alarm
we
sound.
will know.
Oh,
Big
bad
ping.
ping.
No.
It is true that no, not really. I mean, Team Juan has less ping, but it's not unplayable.
What?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay. This is the swarm variant.
Oh.
This
Alright.
one variant, yeah.
Interesting.
This is gonna deal some damage.
Oh, funky.
Oh my god.
It's like swarm. Oh,
That was awesome.
Well, there goes Team Giat's whole energy production.
yeah, it looks like
Somebody-
Butterdog
somebody-
had some connection issues, it would seem. But he's back. It didn't
His
show him
ping
as
looks
disconnected.
stable.
Yeah, his ping was stable.
No,
Didn't show him
he
as disconnected. I don't know
didn't.
what's going on there. But he did reconnect.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't show as DC'd. I mean, he's already back, so like pausing now wasn't going to help anything.
No, definitely not. Oh, now their battery is red.
The giant battery. And we're getting to the nuke.
And obviously it goes next to the core, as usual.
As is custom. I'm just waiting for like one of those tier 3s to land and just hit something explosive on Team 1's base. And just the
Yes,
whole
you will
thing
need
is going to
some-
disappear.
Some more energy.
Those swarms, those swarm mini
jeez.
nukes. Ooh.
This looks devastating. I love it.
It is very pretty. Oh boy. Here it comes.
Yes.
There's something going on.
Oh my god.
Those are near full nukes.
Oh, look at that! Look
Completely
at that
large
crazy
nuke.
thing. There it is.
That is a completely large nuke.
ICBM. Yeah. Just took out the whole thing.
Oh, it's all happening.
It's all
Okay.
gone. Good lord, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to modded forts. Just the whole thing, the whole battleship is gone.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, that's insane.
Yes. Yeah, so that was where we liked that. It's just very explosive. Very, very explosive.
I'm gonna watch that big. That warhead was hilarious.
Go ahead, yeah.
Devastating.
That's funny.
Very good.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I do appreciate getting that onto your battleships, because that means that you actually have the money to launch those things, and a fort big enough to actually take the hit,
Oh yeah.
as opposed to one nuke taking out 2 or 3 players.
Okay.
Which is a thing that can happen.
Okay, so we're in cat herding mode for a bit, are we?
Yes, I'm just checking
Yes.
the map and everything.
Okay, cool. So we got,
Maybe three.
let's see here. What am I looking for?
Good. This. A more standard map.
Aw.
Okay.
Have we talked about we haven't probably talked about all the mods we're going to be looking at yet.
No,
We
saw
haven't
some.
gone through
So
the
let's-
list.
So we just saw the nuclear mod by eTouch. We also have today we're going to see land cruisers, Tanya's mod, fort ships, Alex extra upgrades, pilotable planes, Birdie's guns, and extra stuff plus. So
Yes.
there's going to be no shortage of modding weirdness going on today. And it's going to be awesome.
Pilotable planes has very quickly become one of my favorites, and it is such a total conversion away from what most mods or the regular gameplay loop provides, that it's just
Yes.
not really compatible. But
Yeah.
I find it fun nonetheless.
Yep. It'll be interesting from an observer point of view, you know what I mean? Because part of the charm of it is the camera following the plane. You know what I mean? When you're playing it, it's
Yeah,
So,
because
it'd
when you're
be
playing it,
interesting to
you
see.
get the perspective of the plane as you're flying
Plane,
through
yeah.
flak and such, and it'll be a little bit different from an outside perspective, but I think it'll be
exactly.
pretty easy-ish to follow. Maybe a little slow.
Yeah.
That's definitely
Yeah.
one where I'm happy we have the 30-minute time limit.
Yes. And yeah, so do we know what our next mod is, or these guys are gonna
I believe they're still
Yes, the
choosing.
next mod will be AEU, so Alex Extra Upgrades.
All right.
Alex
So
extra
we'll
upgrades? Okay,
suggest
cool.
this one.
Okay.
AEU Alex. No, this is not a built-in mod. This is absolutely not. Okay.
I believe
And it will be
the
played on 2v2 Darkness, which is a Tanya's map.
Tanya did a lot of good map work in general, both maps and mods.
Yes.
Ta-da.
Alex Extra Upgrades has 126,000 subscribers, so equally popular. Made by someone named Alex. Surprise, surprise.
So this is okay. So you can put Sawyer Dragon in Team 1 and Honeyman in Team 2. And yes, this will be Alex's turn crates. Perfect.
Alright, so we're swapping these.
Description says, this mod adds multiple upgrades to vanilla weapons, devices, different materials for better defense, and tons of funny combos. And
are the team names correct? I don't know. You can see the team names. Yes, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
It looks like we are good to go.
And Alex Extra Upgrades has been done by a French player, named Alex, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. The French Alex.
Yes. Yeah, we have an American Alex as well, but he's not the same one.
All right. Looks like we're jumping in the next round. Yes, as I was going to say earlier, we had a community tournament that was all Alex Extra Upgrades just a couple weeks back. So while this is a showcase, if you guys want to see even more of this mod in particular, make sure to check out the tournament put on by Howrassi.
Yeah, that was quite good.
That was actually really good. Like, there was a lot of great moments in there. This one is a mod that adds a huge amount of stuff across the texture. It's very well done, and it's at this point it's pretty well refined. So it's got some degree of balance patches and such, and it actually has not just cool things, but cool things that are usable, as well as less exciting things that enable different gameplay positions. That's not what is my vocabulary doing today? It enables actual alternatives to vanilla to do basic fundamental gameplay elements. So you can do all kinds of things and actually survive to do all those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
But here we have on the left-hand side, it's Team Furry Lovers, Lizard and Soyo Dragon, facing off against Tomatos Blastos, Honeyman and Igris. Furry Lovers is playing as Armadillo Commander. They're facing off against Tomatos as the Overdrive. Yes, fairly new faces. I think modded showcase is a great way to get some new faces in. Give them an opportunity, chance to get into the spotlight. I'm sorry, this map reeks of buzzsaw cheese.
Oh yeah, with the missing wood. Yes.
Yeah. Like, I know this is a
Missing
modded
metal.
showcase, but this is like, you start without metal at the most vulnerable position, and if you sell anything, you just set yourself up for even more buzzsaw. Like, I know this is modded showcase, not trying to win at all costs, trying to do the cool, fun things, but it's so juicy. How can you say no to this or that? Especially this. Oh my god. So your wagon being a bit ballsy with it. Looks like no one's gonna get punished for this. It's understandable.
There are too many options that are not buzzsaws.
Yes. Too many options. None of them are buzzsaws. We do see a bunch of machine gunners and a pair of portals. Oh, we're going to see minigunners. Interesting. Minigunners out of Lizard, the forwardmost base for blue team. A return to sender immediately out of blue team as well. Typically, when I see an early return to sender, I'm happy to see an early return to sender from my opponents. Because it means they spent a lot of metal and energy, and a lot more energy, on things that can't hurt me. So I can just ignore them and take the rest of the map. Which is, you know, very effective. Interesting that Lizard isn't expanding to the rest of their mine slots. They're instead investing all of that money into early miniguns, which at this point aren't so early. There are the mortars. Kaboom. Those mortars should be taking out those turbines here in a moment. A single sniper for the red team should see the destruction of those machine gunners, and with it, free reign for the mortars. Nice slow opener here for everyone involved. There's the sniper out of Honeymen, as well as Igris. Ooh. There it is.
Unfortunate aiming.
Sniper anti-air classic. Looking to see an upgrade center out of red team here. Or is that already placed, or is it just covered by the nameplate? It's already placed. Looking to see heavy mortars out of red team here. As those wind turbines are beginning to be whittled away. Oof. There are those AP minigunners coming in. Door Snipe takes out one of them. It's an expensive replacement. There are the heavy mortars. They don't make it across. Too many machine gunners for blue team. But the snipers are being reconstructed. You should expect to see some retaliation. It is worth noting that red team has invested heavily into energy shields. Energy shields typically deflect machine guns, just straight reflect those miniguns backward. However, because those are AP miniguns, they pass clean through the shields with no deterrent whatsoever. Those energy shields are doing absolutely nothing here, other than just being an expensive upkeep. The sniping from red team has been very effective, completely shutting down all of blue team's anti-air. And with the anti-air shut down, those mortars have free reign. Blue team is constantly reconstructing their anti-air, and they've got a couple of them up right now. Oh, the upgraded mortars.
First modded weapon.
First modded weapon indeed. The heavy mortars upgraded to extra heavy mortars. More like thick mortars. They're armored mortar projectiles. They take extra anti-air hits to bring down. The sniping from red team. Taking out the anti-air. Should give those armored mortars a much better chance of getting through. And indeed they do. That is so much eco and energy, specifically energy production, not metal income, just energy production out of blue team's topmost player.
No weapons.
I mean, he does have a lot of portals and shields.
He does, yes. That is still a disproportionate amount of energy production.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of scaling coming out of red team here. The uppermost player for red team has developed a heavy weapons tech, and that will enable them to... will enable red team to have some progress here. Because the forwardmost player, the lower player, is still focusing pretty heavily on those mortars. You see the first plasma laser placed for the red team. It's the first heavy weapon placed, period. The snipers, they're trying. Interesting, and a missile silo placed too. Okay. That's a lot of minigun. Woo! Broke a strut on red's base, causing it to nearly collapse. Just a
Some
wobble.
deformation.
Yeah. Wobble heavily. They're still constructing energy shields, which is a decision. This man is fully putting return to senders on top of his base to deal with those mortars.
I mean, if it's working.
If it works,
Why
it
not?
works. Yeah, I guess. Alright, I believe we're going to see a swarm missile launch out of red team here in a few seconds. Never mind, sniper got killed. Still only 3 mines out of lizard. A quite the slow match. We do see heavy weapons tech out of blue team. Both heavy weapons tech simultaneously, in fact. Those return to senders are going to send the mortars back from whence they came. And a mortar falls. 2 mortars go down, in fact. That's going to... I think that's going to cause red team to change tactics here a little bit. Mostly because they just lost their primary tactic. So at this point, there's not a whole lot of activity going on. Swarm missile just launched. Is there enough anti-air? Kinda, sorta. The singular mortar flies and makes it across. Didn't see that coming. Ooh. EMP splashing across Incursus space, taking out an energy shield and slamming the core in the process. This singular mortar. Oh no, is that man selling his... He is selling his munitions tech. Okay. I don't know why. Red team has lost its cannon technology.
You are asking too many questions.
I am certainly asking too many questions. I'm a very inquisitive. I can be very inquisitive.
This mod is called Alex Extra Upgrades. Just answering in chat.
Yes, Alex Extra Upgrades is a wonderful mod. We're not seeing a whole lot of modded weapons here, modded stuff in general.
I mean, I see a laser being upgraded twice now.
We do
But
see.
it's not. He didn't shoot anything yet.
Yes. Correct.
Keyword yet.
Yet. Ignis is upgrading the laser, so that will be effective. We've seen a lot of Alex Upgrades tech, which is used to get the weapons and such, but not a lot of the weapons themselves. That howitzer just exposed up there, okay? Like...
Sneaky, very sneaky.
If you stay very still, they cannot see you.
I mean, right now it's working.
It is. Looks like it's gonna get to fire, too.
Cannot wait to see it whiff.
It doesn't have a lot of good angles. Oh, there it is. Upgraded laser penning clean through Lizard Falls. As much as Furry Lover's last remaining base has some defenses,
Everything
it's
is
also
proceeding as I had foreseen.
Yes, all according to plan. Furry Lovers have no defenses on their foundation, so it's one shot away from the whole base coming crumbling down. Just one shot. And Team Incursus, I don't know if they know this or not, but they're certainly sending shots over.
Ooh.
Oh, that might be death. Oh, they got it.
Good shot.
A beautiful hit. Incursus taken some damage, but nothing catastrophic, just some deformation. Nothing they can't work with.
Looks like they're trying to reconnect, but failing.
That's gonna be it. That's that's the crit spot. Clean through massive damage.
Oh.
Oh, tanked a laser shot.
And the sniper follow-up. Nuke. This might be... Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
Exposed howitzer. Does not survive. The sniper going clean through the base. Oh no. They're just gonna laser that position again, I presume. Although there is a portal being developed there, and with that portal coming online, they're gonna have to do something different. Specifically, the swarm missiles will end everything there, and there's no anti-air, so every single one of those missiles is gonna land somewhere. Oh, never mind, that's a nuke.
Whoops.
Swarm missiles would solve this problem. EMPs as well. Huh. He's actually making it all the way down. Congratulations, you made it without collapsing himself. That's not an easy task. Oh!
I did not see that coming.
I didn't
understand
either.
what happened there.
So what happened there
What?
is
Oh.
Team Furry Lovers, their rear base had a structural integrity issue. Specifically, they
Yeah.
use minimum size bracings above their turbine line here. See how this turbine
that's
line
right.
is on a 2x2 grid? And turbines are, just a little bit taller than 2x2. In order to fix that, they did a one grid space above it. just to turn it
Right.
into a 2x3. That meant that it didn't have the ability to support any real amount of weight. So when the
There we go.
recoil, the impulse came through from the nuke, it just ripped the whole top of base off. But there it is.
Yeah, that
EMP
was-
shuts
that was
down
great.
the portals, laser cuts through, and that's the end of that round. Well done, well done.
Cool. Alrighty.
Ooh, Pilotable
Heard
planes.
the
I'm so
cats.
excited.
Why not have this map downloaded? I should have. Dang it.
How have you done this? Which
I'm
map
sure
is
I
it?
tried it.
So I probably have it.
It should be Wingman EP for pilotable planes.
Nope.
Yep.
I only
I'll
have the big
try
ones.
finding it again. Yep. I'm aware. This is a map by Samster, and I'm downloading it right now. Let's try finding it again.
I think
Got
I'll
it.
take this opportunity to remind everybody that our Moonshot DLC is on sale this weekend.
Ooh.
Yes.
You heard it here. You guys want to join in on these kinds of games? These massive modded madness? Make sure to check it out. It's on sale this weekend. All right. Is Great Woo actually on one of these teams?
Yes.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yes, he is. It's been a while since I've seen him play. I think last time was in FPL season 2, maybe.
So the other team here is likely to have some substantial ping concerns, given that I'm host. Which is really rather unfortunate.
Yeah,
Yes,
Steam
but-
Steam decided to be difficult today, and for whatever reason, people couldn't connect to our original host, and so yeah, we're leaning on you, Incursus, with your your internet.
I mean,
At least it
so
works.
Incursus, you can
Yeah.
you can go ahead and put the Russian streamer in C1 who will be playing.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Neat.
It's all good for me.
And there it is. All right, ready up, let's go.
Yeah, so Samster Birdies is the author of this mod. You
Yes.
actually control planes and drive them around and bomb and shoot and have
That
fun.
is not the right observer HUD.
What?
That is not the right team information. At least for me, maybe it's good for you. Oh yeah, I do the override on my side.
Okay.
My
I was
bad.
like, I'm pretty
yeah,
certain to
it's
double
my
check
fault.
this.
It's entirely my
Okay.
fault. I just
Like, it's the whole
didn't-
reason I'm going quiet in between matches to press all the buttons like
I'm
3 times
sorry,
over.
I'm sorry.
Alright, so we have Russian Forts team versus a Hamster Combat on Wingman. Wingman. Palatable planes.
That
Yeah,
is
the-
not
the-
hamster combat.
You are correct.
Thick.
It's supposed to be
This is moral esters.
moral esters. I can change that once we get in.
Yes. But there
Why is
was
it-
something wrong.
I could have sworn I pressed. I know. Okay.
This is fine.
Is it right next?
Don't
to
worry
it?
too
Can I
much.
It's fine. Doesn't matter. I'll change it. I'll change it when we get in. No big deal.
Yep. Whenever shot
Whenever
loud
shot
can-
loud loads.
Please don't crash.
But yes, Pilotable Planes is one that I greatly enjoy. Gives you third-person control over the aircraft.
Okay, cool. Can I? No, I can't do that.
Done. All right. So
Mm,
this is one where zooming out is required, and we need a lot of airspace above these forts to see.
This is a large map.
It is a very large map.
yes, it has the indefinite map size mod to be able
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah, makes sense.
Indefinite map size.
Oh yes, this is so ridiculous. I think this mod is used also to have the entire Earth map. Just one huge map with the entire Earth at scale.
Good lord. It's madness.
And zoom out as much as you like.
Wow.
Oof. Alright, so pilotable planes is one that tends to take a while. Because pilotable planes are not super devastating on an individual basis. Especially in a map this large, players have time to react to things, which means you can build defenses against them, generally deal with point defense, anti-air and such, knock those planes out of the sky. So as plane, you're kind of at a bit of a disadvantage. We've seen a lot of players use things like tier 3s to try to get around that, just to get some damage in consistently. However, generally speaking, because the maps are so large and such, things like tier 3s tend to not be so, like alternate weapon choices besides the planes tend to not be super effective. So it usually turns into trying to get that lucky shot from one of your planes, your personally controlled planes. And in doing so, set your opponent into a death spiral of a kind. Let's say if you slap them enough, you wipe out their anti-air. When your plane explodes, you launch a second one immediately, and before their anti-air comes online, you get actual real damage done. Is usually how that goes. So it turns into a game of making sure to get your eco up to a point where you can spam planes, and then doing so until you get the lucky shot in. Now, that being said, there are planes that have different roles. There are helicopters and such. There's interceptor type planes. Some planes exist solely for the purposes of shooting down other planes. And they're very good at it. Some planes are in fact not planes at all, but helicopters that exist mostly to hover behind the enemy's core and launch rockets until the core stops existing. Helicopters in the VTOL just generally are easy to shoot down because they're slow, and also they kind of have to hover in order to get damage done. But because they hover, they can literally sit somewhere like inside your bracing and then just launch missiles. And that's kind of difficult to deal with if they're, inside the fort. But that is a thing, and it's something that we're going to have to deal with. Fully expect players to be building machine gunners and general anti-air, mostly flak, that points in every direction. Up, down, sideways, even toward their own teammates. We'll see a lot of that. We're also likely to see planes get launched and go straight up and try to get up and above the map border so that the flak can't find them. That way they can actually make it across the center field without getting shot down instantly.
This mod has 22,000 subscribers, so significantly less than those other mods that we've seen so far, but probably mostly because this is a relatively newer
Yes,
mod.
it is way more recent.
Yeah, so but yeah, it has all sorts of planes in it, and you control it with your with WASD,
Yeah, exactly.
and you aim with your mouse, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, and you can shoot with different hotkeys that you can configure.
So speaking of tier 3s,
Here we go. Here's a plane.
Oh,
we have the first plane. This is a Nighthawk. Its gimmick is that it drops one. It's relatively cheap, and it drops one missile. It's one bomb. You see there?
Oh,
And he's
yeah.
gonna fly away. Great damage. Usually, players will elect to kamikaze because while you can fly off, rearm, and then go in for another pass, usually you have better things to do, like launch another plane, which is faster cycle time.
Oh,
And
he's good
yeah,
at this.
he's good.
Oh,
He's
yes.
quite good at it.
He has some practice.
If you can come in from behind, that would be devastating. You see him flying above up there. He's coming in for another pass. Oh, he's going for this guy over here? No, maybe? Where are you coming from?
Oh, is he?
There it is.
Oh, he's gonna kamikaze. Here we go. Oh,
No, not quite.
Oh, not quite.
It was just aiming for a
There
specific
it
shot.
is. Trying to get those shots down in the rear. You see the flak starting to face backwards now. Okay. There's the tier 3.
That is.
Which is
Oh, wow.
not going to make it. Not even a
Oh,
little
this is
bit.
underwhelming.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Oh.
failure to launch.
It's like he didn't take control.
Yeah. That's funny. With this map size, you get to see the actual full arc of a T3 cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally don't get to see that.
Oh wow, this is so insane.
Look at it. Jeez. Tier 3 not coming close. Oh,
Ooh, nice in tier.
swooped it. It came in for the swoop, didn't get it. Oh, they're actually out of range of the flak at this point, which is impressive. He's coming in for a pass. Oh, doesn't get it.
Good shotgun catch. Yeah, I think you should sell this cannon.
Yeah,
This is
that
not
tier
going-
3, it's never gonna make
I
it.
don't-
That's not close.
You would have to accelerate it and then launch it.
Which is just a
But then
recipe
getting
for
a-
disaster.
Any degree of accuracy would be lost, basically.
Yeah. So I love seeing the Nighthawk go for it. I fully expect it not to do. Oh well, another failure to launch.
Okay, he needs to practice this mod.
Just a little bit. This is one mod. It's not terribly complicated, nor is it super hard. Like it's relatively intuitive. You just have to. You gotta. Okay, I think he
push the,
actually doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
I think he
No, he
actually
did-
doesn't
yeah.
know the controls.
No.
Okay.
You want to
Great
drop him?
move.
Sure,
Yell at
whenever
him.
he'd ask you about, if he'd ask you to learn the controls, I'm sure he would be doing great things.
Probably. These bases are concerning to me. So, a lot of the... It's bristling with flak, and it's not... I'm concerned there's not enough flak. Right, with nothing on his rear, either. Now that is shot loud. So these bases can get destroyed. These bases, for moral esters, are not very well defended. Whereas the Russian team's got some thickness to it, so even if they take a hit, they're not going to immediately die.
I don't think they've actually launched a plane yet.
They haven't.
Not yet. Woo!
And
really good
realistic-
That was
Wonderful shot. That's so many shotguns.
shot. Just a
realistically-
handful.
Yeah. Realistically, launching planes early is not a high percentage strat.
Grab the plane.
Hey, he got it.
Ah,
No, well,
So close. So close.
he almost got it.
Oh, first plane from
Okay.
the Russian team.
Yeah.
Yeah, realistically, launching planes early is not a high percent play. Oh, that's
Wow,
gonna
he's gonna
expire,
be
isn't it?
bombing from there.
Oh my god, no way.
Well, I don't think it expired. I think it got shot down.
Yeah.
Typically, Nighthawk projectiles
true that
expire from that
those-
range.
Yeah, they only have a few seconds of lifetime.
Oh, it's coming in fast.
Oh, the
No
fire beam
bullet.
defense.
Yeah. So if you get hit by a fire beam, you lose control of your aircraft. So you just
Just like in
kind
high
of,
seas.
just like in high seas, so you do tend to not get a lot done as a fire beam happens. Shot Loud takes a
okay.
heavy hit, but they now have rear-facing flak, and it's enough to defend themselves from the
I
follow-up
mean,
shots.
even though the controls are pretty intuitive, there is a lot of like momentum and inertia that you have to get a good hold on to be able to control properly. Like, it's not easy.
Yes, it is intuitive and it is simple, but it is not easy, is how I often describe it. I don't often describe it, to be clear, but when I do. Alright, Shot Loud, you can do it. No!
Oh no!
Okay. Yeah.
The terrain wins
I
again.
mean,
Okay.
ping is a really bad offender in this case, I think.
I don't think their pings are that bad for anyone involved. Alright, like it's 200, which isn't great, but it's not flying into terrain levels of bad, alright? Like,
Oh,
there it goes.
ooh, friendly fire.
That's why you tend to launch your aircraft as high angle as you can. Alright, come on, you can do it.
Take control.
He's got
Hey,
it!
There we go.
One.
Oh, is that an intercept? That's an interceptor.
Oh, he came close.
You almost got it. So this is an interceptor craft. In terms of damage dealing, really, it's only capable of bringing down other aircraft or kamikazeing. And the kamikaze isn't that effective either. Realistically, the high percent play here is to go for the biggest, the AC-130 and
The
just
bombers, yeah.
just spam the biggest bomber possible.
Yeah, they have like howitzer shots.
Mm-hmm. They have like a rapid fire howitzer and well, they have a
Yes, it's
howitzer
really
and a
good.
rapid fire cannon, which is very effective.
It's very good, and you can aim wherever you want. That's
Yes,
very good. Oh,
the flak is trying so hard.
really good devising maneuvers.
He tried.
That's the A-10 Warthog, letting its bird out, dusting some gunners. That's an interceptor, moves fast, doesn't deal any real damage, but it can take out other aircraft. Hey, he gets it. All right. Firebeam tries to take it out.
He's getting the hang of it. Oh,
That's a lot of shotguns. I think the auto fire shotguns are coming in real handy there. He's coming in for a dive bomb, I think. You can do it. Oh, it's going to be a miss. I think the mod increases the lifespan of that, because that was not
Yeah.
6 seconds.
I don't know.
Oh, geez, that thing's still alive. I didn't realize.
Still going, yeah.
It's just barely hanging on up there, losing out his thrust. It's gonna stall out and come down. Oh no. He's just hanging out up there, reloading. Ooh.
Oh, that was a good explosion.
It was. That's the first launch of the end-game aircraft. Didn't make it very far. That's so many shotguns, dude. They could manage to get the Spectre up top.
Ah,
He tried for the dive bomb, didn't quite make it.
you did.
They can manage the first team to get a Spectre up at the sky ceiling, just going in a circle, rotating around, is going to be the team that gets some substantial advantage here. Oh no. Threading the needle.
Mm-hmm.
That is concerningly close to hit it. Oh my god, that's going to hit. You know, those long-range bombs, he's making it work. And here's the Spectre. Here it comes. Yep. Bunch of 20 mil shots in a standard cannon round coming out. Dust some of the exposed anti-air, but no real damage dealt. Here comes another big one. I'm wondering if it would be better off for him to fly directly into the shotguns, because the hitbox would be small enough, thin enough that it won't get hit. Oh, massive damage.
Oh,
Well, he took the top off, which caused it to fall and collapse onto the base. And in doing so... No, that's it. And plane finally goes down. It would probably be worth launching the plane and having the AC-130 just go back and forth, like climbing on their half of the map, just so they can dodge. Ooh. You're trying to fly through the fire beam and ignite itself, so it could just kamikaze straight into the fort.
I am liking the base on this explosion.
yeah.
Yes.
Very satisfying.
Mm.
They're doing a great job of getting Nighthawks up into that top section. They're just not doing much with it. Like, the Nighthawk just as a plane isn't really good at getting damage done. Like, it's fast, which makes it's fast and has a decent explosive, which makes it great for a kamikaze plane. But the cooldown on it is a bit too high. Oh!
Rip helicopter.
Rip helicopter. So you just need a higher tier plane. That helicopter, however, is incredibly effective if you can get it into position. However, I don't see any real positions on the other side that I can get into. There's no nooks to hide in. It's all suffering. Tried. So there's kind of only really two strats you can do with the big AC-130. low and fast, go for the kamikaze, or high at the skybox and just lurk,
And rain down.
rain down everything. They're not really doing either. They're kind of coming in
No,
too
they're
high.
trying, but
Yeah. They're coming in too high and getting blasted by all the anti-air, while not going high enough to avoid the anti-air. Yeah, it's just kind of hovering there. One thing you can do is you can zigzag on your half of the map, and you
yeah,
just
he
climb
can
your way
probably
up,
do that.
and then just go across the sky ceiling, and then rain death from above.
Oh, well, that's
Almost made it.
close.
You might be able to do it. That looks like it's about as perfect of an angle as you can possibly get. If that doesn't hit, there's no... Oh, that's gonna hit?
Oh,
Okay.
hybrid defense. Really good.
Good save.
So that cannon angle can, in fact, work.
Just barely.
Swing and a miss.
Oh,
Uh-oh. No, you gotta go lower. Nope.
He's not really learning from the mistakes so far.
Yeah. Not really. He tried. This is one of those... This is looking like it's turning into one of those classic mod situations where the players don't know the mod well enough to make it work.
yep.
And so they're just floundering about, getting nothing done. Which is really how most mods work. Most modded games go. Yeah, you can't just go up at an angle like that. He's getting the right idea, but you gotta turn around and straight run away from that. Because otherwise you end up going too slow. You have to go horizontally
Yep.
to build up speed, and then go up one layer, and then zigzag it.
This is not.
Oof. And is that a biplane?
Oh
It's a
yeah.
biplane, oh my god.
Oh.
Doesn't even drop explosive projectiles.
Destructible terrain.
Yeah.
Why is there a dome? I mean, why not?
I guess.
I actually do like the dome in this, because the dome...
I mean, domes are decent for the kamikaze, I suppose.
Yeah, and they're okay versus the kamikaze, and they do well versus some of the slower firing projectiles. Like some of the ones that, like the howitzer round that comes in. It's just a big old shield.
Helicopter.
Helicopter, helicopter.
You know, hiding there behind that wall, having the anti-air,
Yeah, it's pretty. That's not a bad idea, actually.
it's not a bad idea at all.
Baiting and tier, yeah.
Mm.
You see, I like what Greatwood did here with his bomber, his strike craft.
Oops.
Yeah. Oh well.
Unfortunate.
Lasers are very effective at anti-air.
Oh?
It's gonna hit. Or not.
Ah.
It burns.
Ooh.
It got touched
survived
but
that.
didn't break it. He's coming in for another pass. Yeah. They're too easy to shoot down. Like, they're fast and they do a lot of damage, but they're easy to shoot down. Alright, well, Greatwood do the thing where he actually zigzags it back and forth and makes it up. Or is he going to stall out? Nope, I think Great Blue's given up to defend. Yeah, okay, he's focusing on defense and let it go. Which is unfortunate, but understandable. There's another fast mover. Honestly, with the players' lack of familiarity, I think the standard cannons are going to potentially win it.
Oh, was close.
Oh, AC-130 actually got some projectiles on target. Ooh. That one pretty
Decent
deep.
hit.
Yeah. It's worth noting that the aircraft count as ammunition, and they can absolutely be hit, and if they're hit, they explode violently. Which is very effective.
I heard orbals.
I don't think orbitals can make it across them. I mean, cannons make it.
I don't think, unless you accelerate them, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't think the orbitals can make it across.
But no. Second one? No. Just teasing.
Yeah, once they figure out how to get the... It should just be a simple matter of... I mean, you can technically brute force it. Because you can technically land shots like that. It's just not very effective. Once they figure out how to get the... how to optimize it, they should be alright. Is you get those big aircraft, and then you either ram them low and fast, getting all the projectiles on target, and then repeatedly do it again and again. Or you zigzag on your half of the map, you go to skybox, and then you just rain death from above. You gotta stay on your half of the map to do so. And no player has figured that out yet. I mean, if it works, it works.
Okay, that was a return to sender.
AC-130 is trying so hard.
Yeah, I like that. But this doesn't do much damage.
Okay, well, the AC-130 is doing a good job of staying alive up there. But AC-130 is not really a base destroying weapon, it's more like a machine gunner destroying weapon. So there's not a whole lot of threat going on here.
Nope.
And looks like we will soon be reaching the time limit.
This is what we have the time limit for.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes we just get players that don't know how to end the game with the mod. And there's not a lot of options around that.
I mean, there is a handful of mods where I expected to reach the time limit, and this is definitely one of them.
Yes. I mean, they're getting shots on target, it's just, I mean... hit and
Those
spread
aren't
damage.
significant shots.
Correct.
They need to figure out how to bring the gunships.
Yeah, it's a little too late, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Players never figured it out. They're resorting to the fast movers so they can actually try to get shots on target, but none of the fast movers they're bringing can deal damage. The AC-130 sounds tasty, but it shoots almost regular. It shoots like sniper projectiles. It just doesn't deal damage to the forts. Oh.
Looks like this will come to the damage.
Yeah. It'll come to damage dealt, and I'm entirely certain it's going to go to the Rus 14. Yeah.
Looks like shots loud, disconnected.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Bad enough.
Understandable feel. Ta-da!
Yep, correct.
Substantial damage
About
dealt.
twice. Yeah, twice the damage. There.
All right.
Very cool. The mod is really cool. And that was more of a experience issue, I think. Mind you, the defense was quite well done, so they knew how to defend. It was just learning how to use the offense was the issue, I think.
It is one of those things where you have to actually learn how to fly so you can dodge and properly manage the spacing, or like it's not a control issue. It's just a learn to get good issue. It's It's not something that's related to regular forts, which is what I was mentioning before. This is just completely disconnected from the regular forts gameplay loop.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, let's change the map.
Speaking of getting good, in other exciting news, the FPL Season 4 signups are open and have been open for about a week now. And very excited to see a bunch of new teams for this next season. And we're going to have a couple of options and features enabled for this season. One is the Choose Your Fort option, this new feature that we've got, where you can teams can choose which fort they start with. So I think that's going to be really interesting strategically. And the co-op on death option will also be on this season. So I'm suspecting we're going to see longer matches, and it will be interesting to see the teams using co-op on death as like purposely destroying one of their bases purely for the resource gain and strategy like that. It's it's going to be quite an interesting season this year, this season.
Why? I know I have the right one. Okay.
Why does it not? I don't remember the command. Maybe. I think it should be this one, but did it work this time?
It seems to.
Okay. Good enough, I suppose.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so they will be team 1. And Jazzcat is team 2.
Okay.
So with this, they are...
So Muffin Men versus Hamster Combat?
Correct.
Great team names.
And you said Jackcat was team 2?
Yes, part of the Muffin Man. And missing his teammates so far.
Alright. Flying Fort's very different.
Not flying forts, we have port ships.
Fort ships even better?
Yes, let me check just So just the mod once more.
Fort ships is the best iteration of the flying forts family. I like it. I like it a lot. I wonder which strategies you're going to see out of it.
That is not the name I'm willing to let pass.
Understandable. I was disappointed we didn't get to see any of the aircraft shenanigans, or at least the good stuff. It's like when I do, because I've done Pilotable planes many times now on stream, and it's usually a game of, can they keep me out of the sky? All it takes is me getting one craft up there in the corner, just dropping cannon shells on them.
Or hovering a helicopter right by their core.
Done that a few times too, although that usually only works after beating them into submission for the most part. It's not much of a spectacle either way, because from my perspective, viewing it, I'm in third person around the aircraft. I can't actually see the thing I'm shooting at. I just have a general coordinate that I'm aiming. Like, alright, I'm at this coordinate, they're at that coordinate, I need to aim at this angle with this power, go. And then just do that until I hear a core explosion. Not particularly cinematic, but effective.
So, looking at Fort ships, it's been out for several years. It has 147,000 subscribers. And is produced by Alex D.
Yes, the other Alex.
The other Alex.
The other Alex. Yep.
The
American
one.
Yeah, this is a good mod. This one is well, just the whole. I mean, like, floating forts started when we were developing the game. You know, we turned off gravity and we did that thing where you use cannon fire to propel your fort, you know.
This is so good.
Ridiculous, right? But this takes it all to a whole new level.
Oh yeah, and it's so unlike the 0G iterations, this one doesn't have 0G at all. It's regular gravity. It's just a carefully an automatically managed recoil state, as it were, to constantly propel your fort into the air. The anti-grav system.
Yes. And you can just choose the altitude.
Did he unready? Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And we're off. Into the fort ships, conquer the skies. Ah, yes. Oh boy, this map is different.
It is big.
We have...
It's very big.
It's so big I can't see it all at once.
Yeah, it has a few outposts as well.
It does. This does not look like a 30-minute map. This looks like a map I would expect to see, like a tug-of-war style kind of map going on here.
We will see how it goes.
Yes.
So what is generally the approach here? Because like you want to keep your original base intact, but then you want to build extensions of that then you send off. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So we're going to see...
You're still kind of playing regular forts to some degree, where you have your home base and you need to defend it and stuff and do tech tree. But then you also have to manufacture these external forts that you add flying ability to, and awkwardly pilot it through this crazy world that the map makers made here.
Yes. So there's a couple different strategies we see. One of the strategies is just take the whole fort with you. You take your core, you take everything with you, and so you only have one giant capital ship that just, it's self-sufficient. It doesn't really matter what happens. You can take damage, you can repair it. It's fine. It's just big, thick, tanky, bristling with guns, does a lot of damage. It's cheaper and it's faster than other battlecruiser type ships. You just fly over and shoot the opponents. It's not a particularly popular style because there's other, for strategic reasons that I'll touch on in a moment. More often we see some kind of ship constructor, some shipyard as it were, and that's what we're seeing here, where we see these little extrusions and a little ship added on top. Now, from here you have two different options. You create a giant battle cruiser, akin to the first strategy, that's just bristling with cannons. You know, like a giant battle cruiser, like 6 cannons, lumbers over and just destroys everything as it passes by. Alternatively, make these small little fast movers that just wander around and do things. Now, on a map like this, these small little fast movers are 100% the correct call. And the reason for that is because there's all this claimable land around. Most of these flying forts maps only have a small amount of claimable land and don't have that much distance to travel. So it turns into aerial combat almost immediately, and the difference is whether or not you win the aerial combat, whether you're victorious in the aerial combat. Here, however, given the massive size of this place, you have to actually... You can put actual weapons and defense platforms around. Because at the end of the day, having 6 cannons is nice, but moving your fort into a position when there's already 6 cannons bearing down on you is not a winning move. So what you can do is you can set up these little positions here with a number of cannons, lasers and such, and just ward away any fort ships that come flying through. And to do that, you want these little fast movers that can quickly claim as much as possible, and to some degree arm them, so that you can take out other enemy fast movers. Now, because we can see that the opponents here, Team Muffin Man on the right-hand side, aren't building fast movers, we're going to see the little fast movers here for Team Hamster Combat here on the left. They're just going to claim all the territory they want. And as you see, they're not even claiming their half, they're going straight to Muffin Man half. And claiming stuff over there. Because
and then they can start building from there, and effectively it's like capture point or capture the flag or something.
Yes,
like that.
Lock Muffin Men out of the map entirely, and then build their own dreadnoughts behind and push through with, well, dreadnoughts of their own. Of course, those dreadnoughts will be later, but that's not a big deal if Team Muffin Men have to spend all of their time and money and resources just trying to break this middle position.
So they just connected to it, and then they make that mini core, and that makes it theirs, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah.
They place a mini core here, and that makes it theirs. And in doing so, this now belongs to Team Hamster Combat. I'm kind of surprised to see he's not claiming this one as well while he's over here. If you see back at his base, the other player, I believe is Slam Boss, has connected these two.
Almost took it out.
Yeah, looks like we have a long-range cannon from here. We do see the first ship brought over here. This is not what I would consider a dreadnought. It's just a cannon ship.
It's middle-sized ship.
Yeah, it's middle-sized, as it were. This one up here is absolutely going to become a dreadnought. But this one over here is just Jagged Cat saying, "Hey, we got to get out on the map, or they're gonna just roll us over We can't let them get entrenched. Because once they get entrenched, it's going to be a problem. Cannon from downtown. Firing up, over, and actually getting an impact, but not on the necessary for it. There's some more connections here. These would be devastating to gain, because you can set mortar arrays and generally things like upward-facing rockets. Any dreadnought that comes through here could get blasted from multiple angles. Would just be devastating to deal with. I'm really surprised to see Team Hamster Combat isn't claiming more of the map. The one thing the dreadnoughts have, or at least the airships, fort ships in general have, is that they can move. Because they can move, they can get out of the firing arcs of emplacements. Let's say we see these cannons from these guys are struggling to hit things due to lack of firing angles. The airships, especially if they move fast enough, can get through the firing arcs, maybe tank one hit and just keep going. And then once they're clean through, they can just sit out of the firing arc and just rain damage from above, which is usually the advantage of it, which is why something like moving your whole core and generally dreadnoughts overall are the premium strat. It's just on a map like this.
Like, warships add some bomber options, I think.
Yes, there are more weapons than merely vanilla weapons in fort ships. They're weapons that are basically mortars that launch directly down, which are very effective. A couple other things like that that are designed to go on airships and are replacements for otherwise vanilla tools. As we see, the cannons are starting to fly across. Interesting note, the Muffin Men with their two medium-sized airships here they possess more cannons and more weapons than Team Hamster Combat does, despite Hamster Combat having more map presence. Which is interesting to me. Yeah,
kind of looks like they've kind of underutilized that.
Yes. Also, no one is Phantom, which is also unusual.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super useful, being able to move your stuff around.
Mm-hmm. Look, there's cannons here. There's a cannon here in this lower platform, and Team Hamster Combat hasn't claimed it. They're just busy elsewhere, it would seem. You do see the first plasma firing. Swing and a miss.
I mean, if I was building one ship, I would definitely just be doing a fast mover with one portal and have an accelerator on my fort. And link that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can. You can just build an accelerator and portal it forward and just absolutely obliterate anything you want. And that is a strategy. It's a fast mover based strategy, but it's a strategy. As the cannons are raining. I tend to not go with the portaled weapon strategies. The reason for that is it's just painful to try to manage it, especially once the opponent realizes you're going for portal weapons. They start using things like EMPs and such, knock out the portal, and they have to wait all over again.
Of course.
It's a logistical nightmare, whereas cannons just work and they get the job done. We see... here's the thing. These these ships here, they're not even dreadnoughts yet, but they're working their way that direction. They're not being threatened. There's no reason why they have to sit there and deal with the front of this. They don't have to sit in front of the emplacements and get shot at. They can just move. Just move over, take out these fast movers, because the fast movers aren't armed. They're obviously there. Just walk over them and gun them down. Like if... Oh, okay. So we'll
yeah, he does have a lot
pause
of
here.
ping. You might want to pause for a second.
Yeah. He does. I see. He is disconnecting. That's probably related to what's going on here. He's sitting at a whopping 40,000 ping.
And a sweet 40-second ping.
Yes. Yes. I'm playing
Let's
Chinese
go to
server. I
worse.
mean, it's acting like he's completely disconnected is what he's acting like. He may have to rejoin. I may just recommend that he rejoins, because his ping is going up at about 1,000 per second, which is... it just implies that he's not connected at all, which is weird because he's chatting.
He's strange.
There were some Steam issues earlier, so there might be some residual weirdness.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking about. I've never seen someone's ping get so high. It's supposed to time out after a few thousand.
Yeah, normally it's about 8 seconds, I think, at which point you time out.
It's weird that you can go 110,000 milliseconds.
He has about a 2 minutes ping right now.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't reconnected.
No, he hasn't disconnected either. I'll try to send him a Discord ping.
Okay, please do. And then we'll get it going. I was going to say, that would explain why there's not much action going on, but...
Yeah.
There's that was what's confusing to me, because I'm like, wait a minute. So the reason you generally want to take map control is because you can do things like harass the ships as they go across it. You end up with just a insurmountable attrition, which is, you know, quite a strong strategy. But if you don't use it, then you're not attritioning anything. The whole point is you physically stop them from getting across the map. But they're not being stopped from getting across the map, so they can just go. And if they go, then there's nothing stopping them from eating the opponent's cores alive. So that's a thing. Now my concern is that this map is so large he's going to desync when he comes back.
I don't know. I hope he's trying to reconnect, but I can't see.
Me neither. I've never seen that before with the ping going like that. It does make me wonder if it's something Steam related, because we were having Steam server issues earlier.
Looks like he's back in.
And he's got a reasonable ping.
And he has a normal ping. Okay, let's go.
Alright. It's still loading. Give me a second.
Oh, yeah.
And there it is. Alright.
Alright.
Oh, I didn't have the button ready to press. There we go. Alright, I'm going to leave the pings open for now. He should... There he is, okay. Oh, almost door
Doesn't look
sniped
too
at that
bad
too.
right now. Okay.
Yeah, it's stable. And
I'll just
blast it.
monitor.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, lasers are very effective at anti-fort ship, by the way. Because they're instant travel time, long range. You can just remove whatever target you're aiming at.
you can't dodge laser.
Yeah, there's no dodge. You can splash the laser. Like spread it around, but you can't dodge the laser. What's that? Long range cannon shot, wiping out a. Okay.
I think
Cannons
it was the
can be
laser
dodged.
shot from before.
Oh, that was close.
Ooh.
Splitting the difference there. Uh-oh.
Decent.
Door snipe, and that laser's gone. We do see one of the fast movers has been upgraded with laser beam. It's going to be upgraded with another one now. As they're moving around. Jadcat does have the mortars, the downward facing mortars here, so that implies to me that they're looking to get some close range action going. The mortars land.
Bombing action.
Yes. If any of these fast movers get hit by a cannon, it's over for them. No anti-air out of blue team.
I mean, they don't have a lot of room for anti-air.
But they could. They also haven't
Yes.
connected to the lower platform, which comes default with anti-air.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, fast mover gets
There
pinned.
goes. Oh,
It's alive, which is, a good start.
somehow.
I think he's just gonna
It
ignore
will
it.
not be easy to repair. Yeah.
Swing and a miss. As the fort flies. Almost friendly fired.
I was worried about that.
That was close. Oh, it's worth noting this platform isn't defended against cannon shells. It's not double doored. It's one shot away from death. I'm pretty certain that cannon can actually aim a little higher if it gets rid of the node.
Nice
Swing and a
dodge.
miss. Oof. And there it is.
There it goes for good.
Airship down.
Or up.
Or up. Yeah, one of the two. Ooh. This fast
Ooh,
mover
it's
is,
no
oh, it's having a bad
Upsizing.
day. He's using metal to fix himself. Dude, that's... Yeah, these medium-sized ships, not even dreadnought size, are just gonna walk over, and blue team is doing nothing to stop it. They're just out. Lambos here at a whopping 0 APMs, oh no. Yeah, this is
Ooh.
turning into a proper dreadnought here. The laser beam no longer capable of breaking it. Another cannon rounded into fast mover. It's looking rough here. Well, he rights himself. The laser beam
Not stable.
not quite, yeah, unstable. You have to. One thing about putting laser beams on airships, you have to stabilize them. Oh, that's it.
Yep.
Airship down.
Now they'll be able to push. And
Yes. They can push cleanly. There's still these two cannons over here, but at this point, the airships, the attacking airships, the red team airships are just stronger than the cannons. And that they're not defended
Indeed.
yet.
Yep.
So it's It's gonna be over. This is gonna be over very quickly. None of the weapons, nothing on blue team's base has been double doored. Look at that.
See, it was a 30-minute match after all.
Yeah. I was a bit worried when I saw the size of this map. And I think
course.
if the players involved were a bit more experienced at the mod, then I probably would have been. But that doesn't seem to be too much of a concern here. Now, Team Muffin Man has something forming up of a dreadnought here, going up to 6 cannons, 3 facing each direction. So he can set himself in the middle here and just clear out this infestation that is blue team. From both sides. Looks like exactly what he's going to do. Whereas his teammate, looks like Jagged Cat over here, is orienting himself to engage with the main base. Has already eliminated one of the cannon platforms.
Other one hasn't exposed plasma.
Yep, that's a lot of damage. He's trying to fully disconnect. There it is. That's a full disconnection there, and is he just going to aim up? He's just going to aim up. There it is. Blue team has been completely
Perfect.
removed from the middle lane. Another fast mover. Whoa!
Oh, close dodge.
Almost fully dodged that. Lost his mortar droppers there. Lost his bombing. His bombs there. He's trying. They've built another fort ship, which will enable them to get some odd angles, but won't actually help with the whole firepower thing.
Oh,
Is he trying to self-destruct? What's going on there?
I don't think that was an intentional.
Yeah, I don't think that was that. So one thing about the cores, you cannot delete them once you place them. Oh, I think that is intentional. That's definitely intentional.
Ah, okay.
He's trying to team
I see,
kill.
I see.
Or self-kill? I'm not sure who's doing that.
No, that's a
That's a
team
team
kill,
kill.
definitely.
Yeah, that's team kill.
That is not great.
So that is one Ryab trying to team kill his, well, teammate. I guess pseudo-fortunately, you cannot do that here. That doesn't work. But particularly
That is not-
unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, that's not the kind of behavior we want to see.
Hmm. Another cannon round takes out the fast mover. And he's letting it burn.
Right. That is a way to negotiate, I suppose.
Yeah, that's not what we like to see, though.
No,
Not,
that's not how it works.
Would certainly explain a bit the way the match has gone.
Yeah.
And anyway, peace is not an option.
Peace was never an option. You had time.
Please give me
You've had
some
20
time.
minutes.
And now 3 cannons.
Here comes the big boy with all the cannons.
Here comes the airplane.
There it is.
Yep. GG.
Fort ships. This is one. This just makes you want to play this map on stream, so I could get some experienced players in here.
Now that you have it downloaded, go ahead.
Yes, I shall
What
absolutely
was
do that.
what was the name of the map?
Frozen
that was
wide
Frozen
flying
Wide.
forts.
Frozen
Yes.
Wide. Cool.
Yes.
All right. So on to the semifinals.
Ooh, shiny. Are we gonna get to see fort ships again? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, we get to see
No.
all of them. Oh, we don't? I thought
We
got
don't
to
see
see
four ships again. No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We only see
bad.
each mod once.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yep. My bad.
And so next mod will be equally long.
Oh, Lord have
as
mercy.
It will be, I think, I'm just making sure they have selected the mod. Okay, it will be land cruisers.
Ooh,
Ah, nice.
I'm excited about that one. It's like flying forts, or it's like fort ships, but less of a skill gap.
And another map by Samster.
Yes. We'd have thought Samster good at making the fun things. Oh, and this is when you start with it. Oh, that's even more convenient.
Oh yeah.
I like.
Yeah, it's a bit to prevent the too long games. You
Yeah,
only
so-
have a starting cruiser.
Land cruisers, as much as it isn't as complicated as fort ships, still suffers from the same mod kind of madness that we've seen a few times already this showcase, where players just don't have the experience to make it work. This map, because you are locked onto a land cruiser and you cannot build other ones, at least not without crazy shenanigans, if you fail, you die. Which means the game actually ends whether or not you know what you're doing or not, which is, convenient.
I mean, you could be able to expand and build another one, or split your fort, I guess.
If you know how to do that, I am not concerned
Yeah,
about
but-
you failing.
Yeah, of course.
If you know how to do that, you failing to function is within the boundaries of the mod is not on the list of concerns I have for you.
I understand.
right.
Land Cruisers has 75,000 subscribers. It's been around for about a year or so, and has been created by Delta Wing. And he credits Samster doing sounds and some art and moral support. He credits Alex D and Alex C and Flynn Shadow. So and Brink. Brink? I can't pronounce that guy's name. Something super. Anyways,
Oh, Brian. Yes.
the point is like basically the creators of all these mods kind of got together and helped Delta Wing on this one. So yeah, it's cool. It's what's really cool to see about the modding community is how they help each other out, and there's obviously a really cool modding community going on with forts. In fact, what's interesting about that is when Tim first showed me this game back in 2007, was the first time I saw a version of forts. One of the first things Tim said to me is that I'm making this game moddable from the beginning, and that was always his intention, is that the game is fully moddable. It was really important to him that forts was moddable, and while it's been great to see the original core forts gameplay become popular, and with general gameplay or the campaign or the leagues and tournaments and stuff like that, the unsung heroes of forts and the forts community are the modders, and because they add this whole, they've added this universe of cool new content that none of us original developers thought of, or had any idea was possible. So it's really cool to see the stuff that the modders have done, and they're such an integral part of forts and the community.
They really are, and I love to see it. We've seen over the course of game dev. So Why do I have a menu? Okay, this is fine. Yeah, I'll have the Easter eggs in here for me. I appreciate it. Over the course, I do a lot of games like for a living and such. And anytime I see a game with community-made content, or at least a game that revolves around, or at least actively works toward allowing community-made content, it helps the game so much. Like in every game type, but especially game types where it's more sandboxy by default. Things like forts. It's a good example.
Yep.
So I got distracted by a pop-up on my screen. Because a little bit of history here. This was a map, or sorry, a mod that was developed by many people. I was present for a lot of its creation, although I stayed away from it because it was broken for like 3 months. But one thing that the developers did is they added in an Easter egg. So whenever they detect my player ID, they gave it an extra wheel type that is specifically the Incursus wheel, which is like my logo but circled.
Yeah, I noticed it told me I could choose the nose wheel.
It's a fun little thing. I love it. I just love that kind of interaction.
Also has
Yeah, I love that kind of interaction with the community. And I didn't select it this time, but I was tempted. So real quick overview for those who haven't seen land cruisers. This is your fort. Much like flying fort, it moves. But instead of flying, you have wheels, tracks more accurately. So here's the thing. In order to harvest minerals, you have to harvest minerals via these extrusions, these drill bits that go into the floor. You see them digging up the ground here. But they can only be moved, or they can only drill while you're not moving. So these players will be rolling their forts around, then drilling into the ground whenever they need money. In practice, this results in them staying still for a majority of the game, building cannons, and then charging headlong up the hill directly into their enemies. One odd wheel. You do have an odd wheel. You have a very odd wheel.
Looks like Flynn is expanding.
We're gonna see a lot of expansions here. A lot going on with this. We see Flynn Shadow getting more wide, and in doing so, giving him access to more drill bits. You got to be careful going too long, because if you go, why are you like this? If you go too long, you start having to deal with uneven terrain and different stresses on your fort. Like if you're longer than the top of the hill, then you get bent. And forts don't like to get bent. So unless you specifically build your fort to permit that kind of thing, it's gonna be suffer. I modded wheels into forts and all I got was this silly circle. Lord have mercy. We do see some of those custom wheels getting involved here. Finn's, or should I say, Flynn's text Ice's obsession with anime. In terms of weapons, I think this adds one cannon that's like a super cannon that can be turned around. Like it can be upgraded to face left or right, so you don't need Phantom to turn it around. You just press a button and turn it around.
Turret.
The turret cannon. It's just like a heavy cannon. It's not like Giga Death Cannon or anything. It's just a big cannon. We're gonna find out in about 5 minutes. Actually, I was about to say, in about 5 minutes is when I would reasonably expect Blue Team to have enough weapons to start thinking about whether or not they want to peek over the hill and start plinking away at their opponents. But I'm willing to bet that Red Team over here on the right-hand side is going to be a little bit more aggressive because they can be, because they're more experienced at the game, and so they're just going to move faster along their builds, whatever they want to do, and so they're going to get to move first. Because I was concerned, because blue team looks like they're building in a way that they have a good chance of collapsing, like capsizing themselves when they go up over the hill. Red team, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what to expect. Flynn...
Flynn's is very long right now.
It's not very aerodynamic. It's
Get rid of
there's gonna be a bit of drag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just... Whenever Flynn is
That is a very
involved,
big windshield.
bases get wild. Oh my god, they're doing this strat. No, it's too far. Stop it. Why are you like this? Who hurt you? So, that is something he can do. He can he can just roll away, back up, trim himself so that it's angled differently, and then rain 20 mils from way behind. Alternatively, it looks like he may just be able to go over direct angle. Yeah, if he backs up, he can totally just... Like, if he goes to the back wall, he can totally just go do that. Flynn, on the other hand, Flynn's bases have a habit of collapsing and were tearing themselves apart. But also, I don't know what to expect here, so... Alright, we've got the engines placed.
Nobody's actually moved their cruiser yet.
Correct.
Not quite yet.
No one's moved yet, and that's not a surprise because you can't move while drilling, and so we're still in the phase where players want to build their cannons. Like, blue team hasn't built any weapons yet. We just placed the first turreted cannon for blue team, so that's not a surprise because they're still just building their stuff. They need the money now. Ice sold 2 of his 3 20 mils and is now building a turret. Flynn Shadow is doing Flynn Shadow things. I got like 50-50 over under. He goes up the hill and self-destructs. I have no idea what to expect elsewhere. My frame rate is dying.
Yeah, my -2.
And it's all Flynn Shadow's fault. Alright, so we have movement. Idris has undone his drills and is moving. Oh, he's just
okay, now the
testing
frame rate's
out.
back up.
Yeah, I think there is some reconstruction going on at the wheels, causing everything to have a breakdown.
Yeah. Recalculating the tracks graphics.
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing?
Igris testing out his movement capabilities. Oh god, it's recalculating it again. No, just look away. Don't look at it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Just look at blue team.
Okay, so we're just gonna ignore red team for the moment. Pretend they don't exist. Blue team is getting themselves set up. Looks like they're trying. The Honeyman over here is trying to copy Flynn Shadow, and I promise you this is a mistake. Not because Flynn Shadow does things poorly, but because trying to do Flynn Shadow things when you're not Flynn Shadow is a mistake. I cannot... I have no idea what to expect anymore. Oh, no, Flynn Shadow's still FPS breaking.
This is now way worse.
It is way worse. We're just going to pretend he doesn't exist. Igris is backing up here. He planted himself over here. If he backs up enough, you can absolutely... oh god, it's on the 5 frame rate. This is Flynn Shadow's plan the whole time.
Ah, he's now moving. Good.
Alright, he's moving. Gonna have to look at him. Oh, he's built the giant wheels too.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so he's using the giant wheels to
Big
compensate.
circles.
I think Flynn Shadow killed Pile. Oh my god, he's adding more wheels. I mean, he's gonna have to add more wheels. Because what he has now is self-destructive. But...
1 FPS, yeah. Basically.
Oh dear. I think Flint Shadow may actually be able to survive this. With the big
I'm still not
wheels.
sure because I'm pretty sure it will bend pretty bad, exactly where the core is.
I'm thinking it's going to bend to the left and the right of the core. And I think that's why he's built it this way, with the space in it and everything. And only doing the long struts with only 2 wide. Only 2 high. I think is what he's going for. I think. Of course, I'm thinking, and that's a mistake because Flint Shadow's doing things. Honeyman looks like he's got a
Flint
good
Shadow
angle
is
on his
devoid
turret.
of thought.
No, it's not devoid of thought. It's just incomprehensible.
He speaks the abyss.
Yes. Where his forts are often sent. So I was honestly expecting actual real threatening movement by this point. Like given the layout, I was expecting there to be like 10 minutes of build up. And we were beyond the 10-minute mark. And my concern is that the more time you give Flint Shadow, the more likely he is to do something to himself. I'm just worried about what it is I'm looking at, because I don't know what I'm looking at. Honeyman starting to move forward. Does not have enough engines. Does not have enough horsepower to propel himself meaningfully. He's going to stall out trying to go up there. Looks like he agrees. He's adding another engine into it, which will give him more horsepower.
More gears as well.
Yes. I mean, low gear will get him up the hill, but more gear would be nice. Okay, low gear is perfectly fine. It just doesn't. You just don't get more speeds.
Yeah.
Flynn's moving as well. But
Honestly.
Beats extremely slowly.
I know. They might get to the top by the end of the match.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
This is now farming simulator.
Yes, these tractors. They're going so slow that the drill bits aren't even fully retracting, alright? Like...
Yeah, they have some maximum speed, yeah.
Alright. Eager's trying to get those shots just up and over the hill. Flint Shadow's trying. I think he doesn't have enough engines. I guess this thing is too big for 2 engines, dude. it's struggling. Oh,
Ooh.
there's a howitzer. Okay,
TP
that's...
howitzer.
Yeah, he's got it slightly canted, so that can go...
He's gonna hit Flint.
No.
Oh,
Almost.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
The howitzers are the way to go here if they're looking to get shots up and over. There's no anti-air reaction out of blue team yet, which is going to be a problem if those howitzers are allowed to fire freely. Best part is they're separated so you can group fire it. Man's also building a Portal Tier 3, like a Portal Tier 3 cannon. Yeah, so that's looking like a much better shot.
Too...
I think slightly too far, but it's close. Yeah.
Very close.
Slightly too far, but close.
I mean, if they had enough power, they could dodge.
Oh. And that's
And
gonna
the
return
return-
to sender.
That's good.
And that
That's good.
is a near perfect return to sender, by the way. So, Ice is already
This
moving.
might hit.
He's like, Ice is like, nope.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and oh no. Ooh!
Impact. Flint Shadow takes some damage.
This could have been much worse.
Yep.
Way worse. So, what are you doing? What's going on here, team? I think neither team is keen to. Oh!
Sure. That was a good shot.
That's
Cutting the
a good
grass
grace
and
shot.
cutting the hair off of ice. He doesn't have the engine power, looks like, to make it up. So, this is a problem. At this point, whoever peeks up over the edge is just going to get obliterated. So I don't think anyone's particularly keen to peek up over the edge. It's almost a stale. Like, they've waited too long to get aggressive, and now everyone's bristling with so many guns that moving is a mistake. And it's going to turn into artillery wars. We've gone from tanks to self-propelled guns. Self-propelled artillery. Which is a slightly different flavor. Oh lord, these are going to go right into their turn centers again. Oh no, he's moving.
Good dodge.
Oh.
Those shots are pristine.
Yes. From both sides, to be honest. Yeah, there's the mortars. I was gonna say, mortars solve much of this. Although some of those mortars don't have an angle owing to Flynn shadow things. One thing, moonshine, when empowered, does pass through, does shut down those portals. We're gonna have an impact. That's a hit.
Another hit.
Another hit. Well done, Ice. Zeroing in.
I would love this T3 to shoot straight up so he hits
Again.
himself.
I wouldn't be surprised. That kind of thing happens. Especially with the portals. Oh, the tier 3 is almost perfectly aimed as well.
Not bad.
Not bad at all, especially for a first shot. We now have our one team. Red team now has the command ability active, so those next howitzers are likely to be shield destroyers. Or sure to say, portal destroyers. Indeed they are. Although I'm not sure the first one was empowered. There's no visual indicator for us to know whether it's empowered or not. But we'll find out when it lands. Though I think it's going to be a miss due to moving target. It was empowered. But it's a swing and a miss. Realistically, if Ice just does like 4 more howitzers and just stops building forward facing stuff, might be a particularly heavy threat. He's just an artillery platform at this point. God, Flynn is gonna be an existential threat. God, the howitzer explosion with the FX. Oh. So here's the thing. Flynn's probably wants to get a little bit closer, but Flynn definitely isn't looking to peek up over the edge with any meaningful amount. Yeah.
Wow. Flynn fired.
He did.
He
Needs
will
a
need
lot
some
more
more
power.
power.
Probably closer as well. Tier 3. Oh, snipes it. Takes out an engine, it looks like, or a drill, one of the two.
Looks like Flynn is getting into position.
This is ridiculous. 20 minutes of no one peeking over the hill. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect this. I expected someone to run over the hill and just roll over themselves and explode. I then expected them to roll over the hill and actually do some damage to their opponents. But none of these things have happened. It has devolved into this world where no one moves and launches artillery at each other over the hill. God, ice is so laden with weapons that his wheels are struggling to hold it up.
Oh, yeah, right.
As impact, splash damage. It is worth noting that these players can't. Oh,
There we
tier
go.
3.
Oh,
Why is it always the tier 3? Devastating damage.
survives.
Honeyman bisected. It is worth noting that these players they do not physically
Can he-
collide.
Can he connect to his old chunk? Yep,
He did.
Yes.
He did indeed.
Oops,
But looks like
and then it fell apart.
yeah, it burned to the ground. It is.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Yeah, so the players, there's no collision. They just clip through each other, as we've seen here. So they can change positions whenever they want, as long as they don't, fire while inside each other. Then it's perfectly
Just
fine.
imagine it's 3D.
Yes. Imagine it's 3D and there's one behind the other. 3D Forts is here, boys. Flynn Shadow just creeping death.
I cannot wait. See something collapse.
It's going too slow. I don't think it's gonna collapse. Like it might have some integrity issues, if it fully goes over the hill such that it is on both sides of the hill at the same time. Like if it's trying to go uphill both ways, then it might have a problem. But I think Flynn's not gonna do that. I think Flynn's gonna set himself on top of the hill and not move beyond it. But man, he's got 5 engines, and it's not enough engines.
He's moving like a slug up the hill.
And blue team
Basically.
can't do anything about it. He's so big.
Imagine being in first person and be like, you just see that peeking over the hill.
You'd be
Yeah,
like,
that'd be
what?
Uh-oh.
Dude,
So can
some
he do
Warhammer
it?
level. It's
Oh,
it's
there's a blinking strut.
no, it's having a time. It's stretching. Yeah. So I'm thinking he's not going further than this because yeah.
Oh,
The
I think he
wobble.
stopped.
Yeah. I think this is what I'm expecting him to go about this far, maybe a little further, but not far enough to cause like he's in range now. He doesn't need more distance than this.
Yeah, good enough. Oh wow,
Wow.
those
Nice.
are very good shots.
Beautiful shot. I mean, he had them pre-aimed. Or at least he had the pre-zeroed in for distance. Oof. And here comes the howitzers. Oh, a beautiful howitzer shot. Oh, that's gonna be devastating. Oh,
Shot.
yep. Player eliminated.
Beautiful,
Awesome.
insane.
As the mortars are flying. So, at this point, Tomatoes should be able to just fire their cannons. I mean, they definitely want to avoid hitting the return descenders, but they can hit spots where there are no return descenders. And it is enough to... There are enough vulnerabilities to be lethal toward Flynn Shadow.
Hitting the wheels would be a good
Very
target.
good, yes. In fact, the premium target, one would say.
Oh, be careful.
Oh, Flynn Shadow's going too fast. Oh no, he's got too much mass. Oh.
Oh,
Okay, he lives. He's got some internal
Maybe that's
damage. He's got some internal damage, but nothing he can't survive. I think he just undid his parking brake, and it just was a problem. To think, he moved up, but the damage came from the tier 3. It's ice doing all the work. I mean, Flynn did get some hits onto Tomatoes, but oof. Some Warhammer level tanks out here. Oh! Devastating.
Goofy shots.
And the collapse. Tomatoes hasn't lost their control center, so they can stop moving. Okay. I was concerned for a moment. Because if you lose your control tower, if you lose your control center while it's moving, it continues moving on last known order. So you will just, your engines will keep going until you crash into something. So that's a thing. Beautiful cannon shells. Tomatoes getting blasted from just across the world. You said it's an artillery match. It didn't have to be an artillery match, alright? You guys chose to make it an artillery match. Flynn went aggressive rockets at the beginning and just didn't use them, okay? Flynn could have totally walked over the hill and just ended the game. You know, rolled over the hill, I suppose. I'm trying to get the... So here's the thing. Those return to senders are not perfect return to senders. So... Well, for one, that's not even a return to sender at all. But they're not perfect return to senders, which means that those shots will not hit red team if they're returned. So even if projectiles go through those, they're not actually going to go back from whence they came. Just generally send them into the floor is what it will do. Which is, you know, fine for defense, but won't turn the game around. That said, there's only 3 minutes left in this match, so I don't think there's any turning around happening unless Flynn Shadow does... Even if Flynn Shadow collapses here, it's not going to be enough to end it, because they'll still win on damage.
So Flynn should just move. Something to look at.
Yes, just
come on, Flynn.
Just show us if you
Move the Citadel.
Give us the satisfaction.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yes, you can. I'm pretty sure you can.
I don't know. I don't know if they have access to the connection. No, because in order to do the detachments, you have to have the control center, which I think isn't.
Do they not have that?
I don't think they have barrel. Like they don't have barrel, and I think in this map specifically, the extra control center is disabled.
Disabled. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yep, you have to go with yourself.
Yeah. Which is part of the design. Because if you have to go over yourself, the game ends when you mess up. Like... You're choosing not to go over the hill. Like, that's... Our return defender is gonna go way far. Yeah. Oh, when he literally meant he was going AFK. Okay. Yeah.
So good.
With moonshine, yeah, with moonshine, the projectiles when empowered go clean through portals. That shuts them down. They can't be returned. So you don't have to worry so much about it. He's charging. Fixed bayonets.
At all speed.
You know, that is a legitimate strategy. Just drive past them and blast them from the side as you bypass them. Don't play this mod. We could tell. It's like if you get a bunch of explosives, you can just drive past them and drop explosives on it. Of course, Flynn is prepared for such things, in the form of many rockets and buzzsaws and cannons. But, still. Oh, that looks like it's gonna impact. It did. It's taken them the whole minute to get to the hill.
GG.
Okay.
Flynn Shadow moves.
after.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So that's our land cruisers, one of the favorite mods around here. Although not particularly exciting match for that one.
No, it would have been nice if they played it properly.
Well, the fan flapper.
Moving a movable fort.
Hey, they moved a little bit.
Climb the hill.
Just get up the hill and get over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, is it Rus versus Russian? Is it Rus versus Muffin Men, or is there a...
Yes, it is Rus versus Muffin Man first.
Okay.
They have yet to choose a mod.
As I was concerned that they were going to go to bed because time zones.
Why?
Nope. The remote operated accelerator. The remote operated accelerator is so much fun, and it makes accelerating just an extra layer of exciting. It's just that it's logistically difficult against people who know what they're doing. Which, to be clear, and as shown here, isn't many. Artillery Moonshine? Artillery Moonshine is definitely a good strat. Is Jagged Cat the Muffin Man Team 1 or Team 2?
He will be Team 1
Great.
with the Muffin Man. Russian Force has yet to choose the mod.
There's one.
Yes, and the streamer is the other one.
Right. I was like, wait a minute, who are we missing?
But which mod will it be? The 3 mods left are Tanya's mod, Birdie's Guns, and Express Stuff.
Ooh, classic.
We'll see.
Oldies and goldies.
They're choosing still.
Oh lord, they're trying.
Incursus, can you remember the first mod you used?
Oh!
Oh, wow.
Um,
that is a brutal question.
it the first
Okay.
probably zero gravity.
Yeah.
Did I
think
get
it's
that right?
Probably, I would imagine so. That's a pretty obvious one to try first.
I think it's zero gravity
Mm.
because I remember doing the first big one I did was flying forts, but flying forts was built off of zero gravity. So I'm like, all right, so I had to have had zero gravity first. So I think it was probably zero gravity.
And it looks like they've chosen Tanya's mod,
Correct.
and it came out in 2018 originally, and it has a 189,000 subscribers. This was like the mod for the longest time.
Yes.
Oh yes, I agree. I have played this for a long while.
It was the first big mod with custom weapons and everything.
Yep.
Custom weapons, custom devices.
Looks like we're good to go.
Did it mess with the commanders as well?
Yes, it modified everything. Commanders, weapons, devices, nothing was untouched.
Yes, I think all commanders are disabled, and then he just codes some other behaviors.
Right.
There is also elements of... Pause real quick. There's also elements
why? Oh, that's peel. Okay. It's just peel, so I think you can peel.
Okay. There's other elements as well. It modified base weapon behaviors. It replaced base weapons as well. Like you have machine gun, then you have Tanya's machine gun, and it's like a huge overhaul mod where nothing is the same. Complete balance reworks, which was both amazing and not amazing. Yeah, I think Peel's having a...
Peel is desyncing again.
Yeah. One of the reasons why it lost a hefty chunk of its popularity was people just kind of got tired of having to relearn so much stuff. And a lot of the commander changes, like, oh yeah, I want to play this commander because I think it works cool with this, but also the commander doesn't work at all in Tanya's mod as it does in vanilla, and it's like, okay, well, we'll relearn it, fine. And then a month later it was an entirely different thing again.
Is it? Maybe we'll restart this match because I'm seeing one very old bug that we had a few times in tournaments, and it's happening again. And you see the
Which
FPS is currently like 3 FPS on the turbines.
No?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, the turbines are
I think
odd.
it's the same for the players, and it's very bad. Happens sometimes after a desync. I will definitely send the replay to Beeman, but
yeah, shall we restart then?
yeah, I think we should restart. And what I will do for this game, I think I will stream to Peel, and so he doesn't have to join Observer.
Because it may just be, because that is a client side thing, and it may just be you two.
I mean, the other players did mention lag, so...
Okay, yeah, Jackcat's... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's lagging. So let's just restart, and I will tell Peel to not join Observer. Just use a force start option, and I will join his VC. So see you after this one.
Okay. All right.
And we're off.
And we're off. But yeah, as I was saying, Tanya's mod is a massive mod. It has incredible amounts of stuff. Incredible amounts of work is put into it. It is one of the first major mods in Forts, and with it, it has gained a great deal of popularity. And well-deserved popularity. And we'll get to see what it looks like here. So this is Ice Wall. Ice Wall has a giant wall of metal in the middle. Usually, players will make an attempt to grab the centerpiece. It is absolutely grabbable. You can absolutely build across from the forward fort and build a bridge across that. I don't know if we're going to see it here. Usually, it's a specific a specific set of players who know how to build such a large bridge, or are capable of building such a large bridge. That will do it. And I don't recognize any of those players here. So we're likely to see just regular Tanya's mod things. But Tanya's mod comes with a lot of cool stuff. Aside from commander adjustments, which I think may have been reverted here. Disabled for this. Disabled here. Gets things like super weapons. Quick note. Actually, let me double check this trivia before I spew it out, before I throw it out there, because I want to double check to see if I changed it at some point. But the thumbnail for the stream, the live stream, is one that I've used consistently since forever, is actually the upgraded super plasma laser from Tanya's mod. The one that's shown in the thumbnail. Yes, it is still there. And if you may notice, it is golden colored. Not because I recolored it, but because Tanya's mod did. Probably it has been changed since that screenshot, but still. We do see the players extending beyond their normal reach up to other expansion platforms. This is typically a 4v4 map, and it is not at all unusual to see the players connect all of them together so they have one giant fort. This is fairly normal behavior. What is unusual is that we're not seeing the turbine dangle. We may see a turbine dangle here. Typically, players will build, instead of building turbines up top, they'll build turbines below, dangling below their platforms. The reason for that is because it's very difficult to hit the turbines. Unsurprisingly, there's a solid wall here, so you can't really shoot the turbines. It is possible to dangle so far below that you can aim up and hit them. That is an investment, a heavy investment, and one that is relatively easy and simple to deal with. A couple buzz saws, standard laser. It would not surprise me if these players are building in this way for the purposes of allowing for co-op on death, like planning to lose their forwardmost core kind of deal. If I recall correctly, almost. If I recall correctly, Tanya's mod does include other options that would help claim in the mid. I think it also includes cables, which are ropes that count as control, like wood does. Oh, so that was the shot he was looking to make before. So that would make claiming the mid very easy, if I'm recalling the list of things correctly, which I may not be. I know there's special wood, like we see here. This is light wood, I believe. It is wood, but less HP and less weight. Convenient for building non-important structure. He's kind of using it everywhere, isn't he? It's like we have... Wait, no. Truly understand the mod. One must have seen the anime. I'll have to take your word for it. Oh, we have a modded cannon coming up. It's red, which makes it scary. Turning this one into the missile platform. Classic. Getting a cannon platform over here, also classic. So here's the thing. It looks like both teams are quite content to simply exist as they are, without circumventing the wall and without knocking over the wall. So we're going to have another situation here where we're going to be building up to the modded items, and then all hell will break loose once the wall comes down, is how that always goes. Very often we'll see the front two forts especially create a dangle and do all kinds of weaponry. Mortars, as we see now, are very strong on this map. However, they're also super predictable and easy to defend. So generally, when you see someone go mortars on this map, everyone just builds machine gunners across the top of their base, and then that's it. And no one can do anything about it. The mortar guy can't do anything about it until the wall comes down, at which point the mortars are the least of the concern, because there's going to be, I don't know, 5 nukes or a wall of cannons. Ooh. Penguin cannon. So we have what is effectively standard cannons there. And we have the modded ones here getting upgraded. Oh my. The Tanya's mod weapons tend to be more powerful. It's also the home of the atom cannon, which is... It does infinite damage in a small, not so small region.
That's a lot of swarms.
It is a lot of swarms, and I think it's going to be a nukes. Ta-da! Oh, ghosts.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So remember when I said mortars are strong in this map? So are gunners. We're about to see how those work. Ooh, is that the shotgun cannon? I think that's the shotgun cannon. It might be the incendiary shotgun cannon. Beautiful. Oh, those are also ghosts. Okay. All projectiles are ghosts now. The modded machine gun seems to have an inconsistency
Audio.
with its audio.
Yeah, he has to update the mod to support the change we made.
I think it's just they fire slightly faster, so it's doing the whole sound twice. Yeah, so that's the shotgun.
We made it so that the length that the machine gunners fire is actually adjustable. That never was the case before.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it's you can choose the duration and that sort of thing. But some mods need to be tweaked because they mess with that as well, obviously. So especially if he's made some of his own sounds and stuff, they just have to support the new thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's actually pretty cool.
We try to make things backwards compatible for stuff, but sometimes you miss things.
Yeah,
things are unavoidable.
There's always a little bit that gets missed. It's the nature of it. I am really surprised with Believer. It's like I'm pretty certain there's the cable that allows connection. I'm also pretty certain it has a long chain, which allows you to just connect across vast distances. It's like a rope, but longer. And so I remember we used to do 0G plus chain to just yeet explosive barrels at other bases. Which is always great. We have a tier 3 cannon type deal? I don't recognize it. This one, I'm pretty certain, was just a tier 3 cannon. Last I checked it. Like, you upgrade the standard cannon and it becomes a tier 3 cannon. But now its projectile can be shot down. Which is interesting. I like watching the machine gunners do the machine gun thing. Even if they miss horribly. So rear base is looking like they've got a game over amount of firepower just hanging out back there. Oh, that's the atom cannon. I think that's the atom cannon. Chat, I think he's got the atom cannon. Uh-oh. He's with 27k power and 2k money. That you can afford an atom cannon on that, I think. I think he's going for it. Might also be why forwardmost player for the Rose team stopped trying to open the door. Trying to open the gate and say, hey, don't. I'm just going to atom cannon them. If anyone gets to the super weapons, this is just kind of over. Oh, hello. Are these... Oh no. Is it the Nebo Werfers? Those are fun. I remember building a battleship, doing a video with them, where it was just an entire battleship that was made out of nothing but the Nebo Werfers. It's the Nebo Werfers!
And they got a cool sound.
That they do. Especially when you chain fire them. Speaking of miss,
but, yeah.
little far. He's starting to expand the rearmost platform there as well. You can do it. All right.
Here we go.
That's some better hits. And it's gone. One more artillery cannon removed. This man's getting a second one. Mad lad. Wow, those Nebos are getting shot down on the way up. I think you can tell the difference here between the Tanya's MGs and the vanilla ones. There's another howitzer type shell. So I found the trick with the Neebles is to chain fire them because they they last longer than the MGs can manage. So they will overheat the MGs and the Neebles get through. Very effective, actually. Especially when you're launching, you know, a bunch of them. Looks like everyone's agreed to go artillery. No direct fire today. The MGs are starting to overheat. And it's just not enough. That's just too much MG on the board. I mean, look at it. This is why you typically don't see a lot of things like mortars on this map. I mean, you don't get through it. It just doesn't happen. It's way too much MG. Curious as to why he's doing this. Because these can't be moved. They're not phantom. It's just such a dense wall of lead. Holy smokes. Hey, one lands. You did it. Alright, Atom Cannon should be coming online. Yeah, soon. I see a cheeky buzzsaw here. Looks like it doesn't have an angle on anything meaningful. Ooh, it all comes crumbling down. Time to open fire.
It's finally happening.
Yes. God, I forgot how much more vicious the missile launch sounds in Tanya's mod. The atom cannons are available and can be fired. Those are indeed the incendiary shotgun cannons. $51,000 energy. Just a pair of standard cannons. He's got the nuke launcher.
Ooh. Oh.
And he's gone. Lots of damage. He's having to paint through the doors of his... Oh no. God, the nukes sound so just dangerous. Here it comes.
I think that's bad.
Yep, that's the atom cannon. That's what the atom cannon does. It atomizes everything. And
Well,
it's
that ended
gone.
nicely.
That ended beautifully. That was amazing. Okay. You'll love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tanya's mod.
Still pretty fun, actually.
Oh yeah.
And I'm back.
Welcome back. So that went that escalated very quickly. In all the right ways.
Okay, I need to ping the other people.
Looking on the workshop on Steam, and there are 39, basically 40,000 in workshop entries for Forts. 40,000.
Oof.
That's a lot. It's a colossal amount. The most subscribed mod is Birdie's Guns.
Oh,
Interesting.
really? Congratulations. Congratulations, birdies. For creating the mod with the most subscribers. It's kind of surprised me. Yeah.
Yeah, 214,000 subscribers.
Oof. Sheesh.
Okay. This will be interesting.
Extra stuff plus plus, I assume?
Yes. And I need to update the mod because there were some balance changes apparently. And also some error corrections.
Alright.
Some bug fixes.
Let's see, extra stuff plus plus by the Mighty Cat.
Exactly. The cat
197,000
himself.
subscribe. 197,000 subscribers.
The team side's correct?
Yes.
Alright.
And make sure to change the observer HUD. You have Tomatoes Blastos in Team 2.
Is that not correct?
No, the obs HUD, I mean.
This mod has a frat.
Is this
This
not
mod
tomatoes versus...
Muffin Man on Team 1.
Yes, Muffin Men are indeed on Team 1. Should they not be?
Yes, they should be. I'm just speaking of the observer HUD. Making sure
Yes.
that you have it set
Yes,
up correctly.
Muffin Men is Team 1 on the observer head. Team 2 is
Yes.
tomatoes.
Perfect.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. 1 second.
right.
This mod has the Fraz launcher in it.
Oh, yes. It has a lot of insanity.
Shout out to Fraz. We haven't seen him in a long time.
He still does the Forts videos and such, just not a lot
He
of
does.
collabs. Which is at least partially
and-
my fault, because we have very different schedules.
Yeah. And he has been helping us out with editing some of the FPL videos and stuff too.
Speaking of which, FPL 4.
Sign up now.
Yes.
Oh, the sign-ups are open.
Lineups are open. And there are a lot of slots ready.
Awesome.
Make sure to join.
Alright. And we're off. The Muffin Men versus Tomatoes. In Extra Stuff Plus Plus the mod. On Bull Warriors. This is one where I'm not really expecting players to expand to the rear fort. It's not impossible, it's just difficult. It's also quite a defensive map. I remember seeing a lot of cannons on this map because the lip in front prevents direct fire at, well, that level. So you have to like get up and over and then dip down. So you have to hit from a high angle or, you know, have cannons which are affected by gravity. So we may see cannons, which also means probably return to senders. This may turn into another artillery match just because of the layout of the map.
Well, extra stuff has a lot of options.
It does. When it says extra stuff, I mean it's got a lot of stuff. Like a lot
Oh yes,
of
a
stuff.
ton of stuff. It is insane.
It really is.
I don't even know how you go to make a mod like that. He's so big.
2 years worth of coding any cool idea you think about.
There's a asteroid weapon. Rain asteroids on enemy forts.
Which is really cool, by the way.
And they also have the black hole launcher.
Oh yeah. Whenever you shoot that, you have like a 50-50 chance of just obliterating your own fort.
Yeah.
The trick is to fire that from a fort ship of some kind, which is what I remember doing with it. Just fly off somewhere else and then just self-destruct and take the world with you.
But yeah, this is game-ending damage.
It's a super weapon class. It's definitely one of those. There's another one that's just a impulse cannon. All it does 0 damage, but the projectile just rocks the enemy's fort a bit, just knocks it around. Probably the most destructive weapon in the game. Because all it does is cause the enemy fort to wobble. That's it. And it breaks everything. All it takes is someone who didn't like cross brace and build stability tech, and then suddenly they've collapsed on themselves. And it gets worse if you build like 3 of those. Token EMP. Swing and a miss. I'd actually see black hole at this layout. I don't know, man. Black hole is, I mean, it's still gonna be game ending. Because it rips bracings off the foundations. But the launcher might actually survive this one. Maybe. Maybe if the forwardmost player launches it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe if the forwardmost player launches it. The rear player won't die. And then it should guarantee death to the other players. Black hole launcher dangling under the base. That's another idea. Launch it from below. Yeah, but then it's gonna get stuck. Then it's gonna get stuck like right here, and that's probably not lethal to this base. I mean, I'm sure it'll cause catastrophic damage, just probably won't be lethal. But if you fire it from here, accept the death on this fort, land it right here, that's an insta kill. That's just game over. I say that as if we're gonna see a black hole, alright? Like, the amount of things... Weapon
A
has
lot of
turbo.
things can happen between them.
Yes. Alternatively, we're just gonna see standard cannons and nothing else. That is a classic trope of modded. End of the game with standard
we'll
cannons.
See something from Team 2. Soon-ish.
We want to find out, because we do have this guy going here. What are you? Tiny cannon.
Tiny cannon.
Okay. I remember those. Found them underwhelming. Fun, but underwhelming. Extra stuff plus plus in all of its glory.
Ah. Also,
The
it turns
tiny
out
cannon.
that the plus plus in the name breaks some Lua for some reason.
Yeah.
Like the game interprets it as concatenation, and that's funny.
Why are you like this code? So the tiny cannon is basically just a 20 millimeter, but fires a single projectile. It's a little bit more damage than a 20 mil projectile, but not by much.
And it reloads fast.
Yes, it reloads very fast. Getting like 3 of them and just tab spamming is a thing.
Shot.
Also, standard cannons are a thing.
Ooh.
It didn't even explode. Just plowed through those guys.
I love how that's a thing. Projectile's so big, it just takes them with it and keeps going.
Yeah.
Oh, not even a little deformation on that. Enough anti-air out of red team to shut down the howitzers. Excellent. Can do it. So what I'm waiting for is the modded weapons to come out, like the fancy ones.
Hmm. This is why we have the 30-minute limit to give them extra time to do that.
Yes. And that is, of course, if they survive that long.
Hmm.
Which is not a good assumption, given that there are standard cannons and howitzers here. Oh, what is... Are they going to try to portal this? I think they're building a big, expensive cannon down here, going to try to portal it up and out. Is what's going to happen there. Because some of the cannons are devastatingly powerful. I'm just now realizing that I'm pretty certain that's a AP... Yeah, that's an AP flavor of the standard cannon. Because it's passing through, like, the metal doors without breaking them. Which is a neat trick. Man's building more cannons. His tower must grow.
He's thirsty for lead.
Could have so much of it, though.
I think if he shoots everything at once, might collapse. From the
Probably.
recoil.
That's just a lot of recoil, and that's 20 mils certainly have a lot of recoil.
You need to aim those better. Well,
I mean, he is hitting
Yes, indeed.
the
Yeah,
eco
yeah.
there. The armored rocket. Oh! Yeah, there it is.
that's a cool sound.
Fragmentation cannon. Firing those canister rounds. Not devastating damage, but a lot of splash damage. With full-on flak around.
Oh,
Oops.
Self-destruct.
Self.
He's trying to get the cannon shells through that portal, which would be effective. It would deal damage.
what is this?
Standard
Just a nuke?
nucleus. Oh. That's a lot of damage. Well, Quack losing every single one of his weapons. As Honeyman here taking another hit with a howitzer. You see another volley with the frag cannon. It's chunky. It's got enough
I like
AP
this
that
sound.
it pens things. I do like the sound. It's very fitting.
Mm.
We got here upgraded cannons. We're going to see some extra stuff cannons here. Tomatoes launching that without having a door on the portal is anxiety inducing. It's just why you like this. Honeyman also desperately needs to invest into more turbines, like somewhere, anywhere. Upgrade existing ones, do something. Those are just straight up fake doors, is what those are. Okay. Real fake doors.
Phantom should be able to do that.
Almost got the howitzer through the portal. If the howitzer goes to the portal there, it'll just splash down underneath. It won't... It'll do a lot of damage, but it won't, like, break something exceptional. I don't remember what these cannons are, but they're scary. Because they're modded. And for no
We'll
reason.
figure it out in a second.
Probably will. It's got two of them. And... or not. It's got a lot
was
of
blue.
weight to it, it would seem. And it didn't cost an exceptional amount to fire.
Oh,
Incendiary cannon. Okay. It's a lot of fire. If that nuke had landed just a moment earlier and reset the fire ticks, that would have been a lot of damage. A lot more damage. That nuke. Those nukes have been MVP for tomatoes. Oh, is it going to collapse? Oh, it's not so close to collapsing. What?
What?
What was that?
I don't know
weird.
what that was. That's a fragmentation cannon.
Oh,
Yep.
Feels it. Feels
Nailed
like
it.
a baseball bat. I love it.
Oh, more damage. So much more damage.
0% is not a lot.
Yeah.
There it is. Player eliminated. Well, all those 20s have been replaced. But here comes the nukes, and those nukes will be knocking over that cannon, that tower of 20s. Real quick. And there it goes. And they're all gone. So blue team has nothing remaining. No weapons, just a little bit of eco to call their own. And, not much else to their name.
Oh,
There's the
shot.
incendiary. Yeah, that won't end it here unless he lets it happen. Yeah, he's letting it happen. I don't think he had a choice in that matter, to be fair. The follow-up cannon, very effective. Alright, and there's our bronze match. Congratulations to Team Tomatoes Blastos for taking third place in this showcase.
awesome.
As we move on to the finals, the decider between first and second. And the modded madness.
With our final mod, I will first pick the players.
What is the final mod?
Birdie's guns.
Alright.
Which is another massive list of new weapons.
Yes. That's what I call the kitchen sink mods. They just throw anything and everything together just because it's fun.
Something
For no
called
other reason.
periscope minigun autocannon. Interesting.
I remember those.
Hanging cannon.
I remember I made a
drone. Bomber drone.
I remember I made
let's see.
a video about the periscope ones because how
Oh,
those
right.
work is they have where they fire from is separated from their hitbox. So you
Right.
can like stack them on top of each other. Which is horribly effective. For a minigun, at least.
Why did I choose this map again?
Which side is which?
So Russian force will be in 1.
Alright.
And so you have to change the streamer height. Perfect.
It has a drunk beer laser.
Drunk
Mm.
beer laser.
Yeah, it makes
Perfect.
all projectiles drunk.
Oh, that's so good.
Wait, is this the one with the duplication beam?
No, I think that's Tanya's, the Gemini beam.
Gemini beam? That makes sense.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I genuinely don't remember. There's so many.
There are. But I'll just take this moment to remind people, I already said it before, but just in case you forgot. Moonshot DLC is on sale, 30% off on Steam.
You see, that isn't on my talking points for today, so I don't have it written down. But yes, usually we want to mention it every hour or so at least. You know,
Yeah.
revolving door of people coming to hang out.
Yeah.
You guys want to
exactly.
get Forts and its DLC for a fire sale for a good price. Make sure to check it out on Steam right now, this weekend, because it's on sale. You guys can come join the fun during our weekly Forts community streams. So who are we missing?
Flynn and Ice, and I think they are currently training some strats, probably.
Classic.
Yeah, classic Flynn, always experimenting until the last second.
Yes. Where's Dragon when you need him?
I mean, I think we hit the schedule right. At least. The timing has been good so far. If we put every single mod at once, how many errors do you think we should see?
All of them.
Yes.
We've seen that before. Like, some mods technically shouldn't conflict, but then they do. Or they don't until you try to put a weapon down, and then they do.
I mean, some mods have similar weapon names, and that's sufficient to cause some issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember in the early days, we used to have a mod to fix other mods. Because the mods would change a lot of the keybinds. I was like, nope, we have to get a mod to unmod the mods. It was my favorite mod. But now, we're off to the finals. Rochefort team versus Juan 0.5 on 4v4 Pyramid with Birdie's Guns as the final mod of the day.
Or night, depending on where you are.
Pretty certain it's about night just about everywhere now. At least everywhere where the players are involved. Alrighty then.
I think this map is another classic from Tanya.
I believe so. So here we have on the left-hand side, it is Rochefort team. They're playing as the Moonshine Commander, classic artillery commander. Playing against Juan 0.5. Playing as the Warthog Commander. Thin Shadow just exposing his upgrade center. Oh, right. This is a map where you can, like, foundation all the way up the rest of the world.
Yes.
I forgot about this one. Why have you done this? What? Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know if the players remembered this, because I certainly didn't until I'm looking at it here. Mate's a good argument for a Buster. So you can relatively cheaply, I guess Architect as well, relatively cheaply just consume the world.
On this map, I would just build a ton of silos.
Yeah, that's usually what we ended up doing. Just a ton of silos. And usually like a tower on top of your fort to protect a bunch of them.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
It's very effective, relatively close range, and especially if you start launching from below, it becomes even more difficult to handle. Was the meta strat for this map when it was played, if I recall correctly. And then people decided that they had better maps to play, because they did.
That is so true.
It is fun to experience the novelty of being able to build everywhere, but it gets old real quick. In terms of Birdie's guns, I truly don't know what to expect here, because I don't remember what is in Birdie's guns.
I mean, basically a lot of variants of the vanilla stuff.
Yes. And we're gonna get to see one of them. We have a rocket. This is another EMP rocket type creature.
It looks a bit more straight shooting.
It does.
And maybe it's armored? I don't know.
It is possible that it's literally just an EMP rocket. What else do we see here? That's the incendiary one, if I recall correctly. Not
Nope,
armored.
not armored.
It's just an EMP rocket. Alright.
That shoots straighter
Yes.
and has like a constant speed instead of acceleration.
What else have we got here? I don't know what I'm looking at up on left top base.
The time has come. All your bases are belong to us.
It's buzzsaw o'clock. Flynn has discovered that the opponents have indeed not sold off their metal, and seems to have lost much interest in his buzzsaws. We see a new toy. I believe it's a shotgun gunner. And he's selling it off. He's like, nope. Don't want
I
that.
remember there being some kind of shotgun buzzsaw.
Well, that's an interesting idea.
Oh yes. Especially on this map.
Yeah. Or wood is paramount.
There looks to be some kind of silos shooting front.
Additionally, standard cannon o'clock is here, and Team 1's feeling the pain. Buzzsaws and cannons never get old.
Oh,
Ooh, fog.
what is that?
I think it's
Ah,
EMP fog.
little
EMP fog. The harrowing stuff. Goes for so long.
Yeah, pillow cannon.
This
Pillow
looks to
cannon.
be
Have a bit of
against
that.
the Geneva Convention.
Let me just comfort you to death.
Good lord. That's some serious map suppression is what that is. There's no way Team 1 lets them do that again. Yeah, okay, it's gone.
There you go. Finally the silos are coming in.
They're still adding a lot more. They're still keeping up with their anti-air. At least the right side is. Left side's going on a bit of an adventure, exploring everywhere, and getting cannoned for their troubles. Getting information from chat that those rockets you were looking at were regular rockets, but single use. That's their gimmick.
I guess they would be much cheaper.
Yes. At least I presume as much. Warthog and powered cannons. They do a lot of damage. And here come the swarms. Mine down. I repeat, mine down. I believe the players have rediscovered the usual strat for this map. It's swarm missiles. And a lot of them.
I'm not familiar if Birdie's guns add some more silo variations.
It adds... I don't know, actually. We do have birdies in the chat. Samster, have you created, in this mod in particular, more silos for more missile madness?
I would suppose so.
More splash? Wow,
Ooh,
complete shutdown. You don't see that every day. Near complete shutdown. It's impressive. Oh, the
What is this?
sniper creature. It's it's like an auto refired AP sniper, if I recall correctly. It's like a burst, like a 20 mil, but instead of 20 mil, it shoots AP sniper rounds. Which is an interesting idea. Basically, you pick a double-doored thing and you make it go away. Guess a single-doored thing too. Ooh!
They're new.
Splashed onto the core too.
That might be lethal.
Will it? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Secondary explosions, but nonetheless lethal. Mighty Cat says, you could remove the cannon and howitzer next time if there's a tournament. I don't think it's the cannon and the howitzer. Okay, well, vanilla weapons generally are very powerful, and mods do often struggle to keep up with them, but I don't think it was the cannon and the howitzer that was the problem.
Oh no.
The pillow again. It's literally suppressing both forts, like near entirely. Just off of a single shot. That is disgusting. It's disgusting. Yeah, I think it was the
effect
players.
doesn't look to last very long, at least.
Well, it doesn't last longer than the cloud, than the pillow launcher does. That's for sure. It's got a modded silo with 2 upgrades. None of them are placed here. Makes sense, so they're not using them. Yeah, I think the issue is less that it's the cannon and howitzer so much as they're choosing to use them. Like say, oh, we're playing an ice wall. We're gonna choose not to break the wall, and instead we're just gonna cannon and howitzer everything.
I mean, if they want to. They sure can.
Yeah. And that's mostly what we're seeing here. I think we see
If
the
it makes
players
them win.
trying to experiment a little bit, but they're not trying to go super deep in the tech tree. Is that a tier 3?
Yes.
Okay. Looks like it doesn't have the firing angle for one of those cannons. We turned it to a tier 3. Gonna guess the modded silos can't fit on this map. Really? Interesting.
Maybe they are wider or something.
Maybe. Oh boy. The shotgun. God, that
I would
rapid
love
fire
a T3
sniper.
when this.
Oh, the tier 3 is creeping closer and closer. Oh Lord, it's creeping.
Do it.
And the standard weapons are reigning supreme. Even if they're used in non-standard methods. To say, Russian team should be able to fire their weapon. Well, I guess they don't even have the metal to do that. They have decent metal income, so they should be able to fire some of their weapons. So they do have swarms of their own. Looks like they agree.
And there is a bit too much anti-air.
There is a lot of anti-air, as we see, but at least they can, you know, force the point. Rus Fort down to 23%. And... whoa. The nukes are defended. So I think Team 1.5 is just going to end it with cannons. Or nukes, standard weapons nonetheless. Is that 1%? And that's it. Players eliminated. Team 1.5 takes it. Bring themselves to first place in this competition, this showcase. Knocking
Well done.
Team Rus down to second. Well done, everyone. Congratulations,
Yeah.
one and all.
Yeah, that was fun showcasing the mods.
Yeah, I do like showing off a lot of the mods, because a lot of the mods, most of them are very well done, and they're so shiny. So many new toys to play with. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for stopping by, enjoying the forts as it has been. Shout outs to 1.5, Rus Forts team, and why am I not seeing bronze match listed here? Bracket and Tomatoes Bletos for taking third, or for taking the top 3's places. And I'm looking forward to doing this again. So we have the Forts Pro League coming up. I think there was another tournament scheduled between now and then.
Originally, yes, but we won't have time.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need to spend some time organizing things for the Pro League. So we're going to just focus on that, making that as solid as possible.
Sounds good to me. So you guys heard it here. We've got the Forts Pro League coming up very soon, coming up next. And if you guys want to get involved, well, now is the perfect time because Forts is on sale right now on Steam. So go check it out while you still can. Don't miss out. And as always, we'll be doing more Forts streams every week, so you guys can always come and join. But for now, have a good night, everyone. And I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.